Oh my god. Okay, hi guys. Hi. So, I have had the craziest I have had the craziest few weeks of my life. I am finally back home. I slept in my bed for the first time in like a month. Good gracious. It is good to be back home. And I missed you guys, and I missed streaming on my regular setup, and I missed streaming. Oh my god, that was like the longest break I've taken since I started streaming. Fork, thank you so much for the tier 3. Thank you so much for 15 months. That is so long. I am honored. Thank you, and hi everybody. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Kabatserov, thank you so much for 6 months. I am having a great day. Peanut Butter, thank you so much for 3 months. Hotshot VR! God, I want that to be me. Someday I'll be better at VR. Whoa, wait, oh my gosh! Catharsis, thank you so much for 10 gifted! You sweetheart, you hero! Sprig, thank you so much for the sub! Catharsis, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, yeah. Giga Chad, thank you so much! Thank you so much! Yeah, the chat looks normal again! Everything is back the way that it was, where nature is healing. So, I don't know exactly what to say. Y'all probably know I was in kind of a weird spot, wondering what I wanted to do, even before I left on my massive adventure going all over the place. Alicio, thank you so much for 10 gifted! What? Oh my gosh! Alicio! France Trinity, well, France was amazing. Beautiful, magical, many good bugs, many cool spiders. I had a beautiful time. Minnie! I love you, Minnie! I miss you! Oh my god! Oh my gosh! I was amazing on Werewolf? I honestly don't know. I think I kind of got a little bit lucky. Like, I was actually rewatching it, and I think that, honestly, Camila was a better bet. Like, I was really stuck. I was really rigid about, like, no, we take everyone who didn't vote for Filion and we kill them. We murder them to death. And I actually don't think that that was, like, a good play. I think it just kind of worked out really lucky. And then everyone was like, oh my gosh, wow, she was playing 5D chess. But it turns out sometimes you just blunder real good. You blunder just right. So, I don't know. But it was really, really fun. Everyone kept calling me a clanker. I know. I have never been so... And partially inspired by that, I was thinking... okay, so there are several things that we should probably address. Okay, so... the company where I work is ending the project that I feel so passionately about. Something that I didn't want to say on stream because it was making me very sad. But such is the world of R&D and robotics. And the cool thing about working at such a big company is that this doesn't mean that my job is gone. It just means that my job will be different and a little bit less dreamy. And so, I was in a place in my life where I was like, well, I got this medical robotics job. That was kind of a miracle anyway, wasn't it? Because I don't really have a lot of medical robotics experience. And for those of you who know, I know, we built a whole economy wrong. But, right, robotics works very differently from medical robotics. Medical robotics is sort of hard to get into. There are really, really strict requirements. It's not the same thing where you just kind of like work on a contract and then you're moved to a different contract. It's like there are companies that just do this, and any project... You mean Baymax? Dude, I wish I meant Baymax. I was literally watching Big Hero 6 and sobbing on the plane. Not sobbing because of medical robotics, sobbing because Big Hero 6 is a good movie and I love Baymax and I want to hug him so bad. What was my favorite bug that I saw? On my break. Oh, on the whole break. That includes bugs that I saw as well in California. I saw a Western Widow. I think Western Widows are beautiful. Great movie. Anyway, so I was in this place where I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to be working on medical robotics anymore, which was my dream. I'm going to be working still at an extremely cool company on more generalized robotics. And I love this company, and I love robotics, but I want to work on medical robotics. So I applied to a program that would let me do that, and we received some very bad news about the health of someone who I love very much in my family. And so I Get Ellie to Epcot to hug Baymax! Oh, I want to. And I was pretty devastated. Skippy, thank you so much for 6 months! Everblaine, thank you! Shadonis, thank you! Oh my gosh. I was pretty heartbroken, but I did not withdraw my application because I just couldn't bring myself to. I tried to press the button and I just couldn't make myself do it. And these mood changes be wild, dude. I know. I haven't slept. It's just been a crazy time. So anyway, it's like the coolest program at one of the coolest universities, and I just could not withdraw my application. So when I saw that I was accepted, I was pretty heartbroken. Because I knew that I'd have to say no. Both because I love my sister, and because the first stream you start watching is so depressing. Hey, there's ups and downs, okay? There's ups, there's more ups, okay? Because I love my sister, and because at this point it was too late to apply, for a visa, right? So, knowing that information, right, I knew that I would have to say no. And so when I finally did call my dad to tell him that I had gotten in, which I waited a little bit to do because I couldn't handle it, yo, welcome! He told me that he and my sister had, without my knowledge, filled out the visa application already for me, so that if I got in, I could go. And I have everyone's blessing. And I love them so much. And I don't exactly know how this will work. I don't exactly know if I can justify going yet, because I love her so much, and I want to be here for her, and I want to be here, but I also, you don't always get this kind of opportunity, and I feel so utterly loved and so lucky. I love my family, and I don't know how I got so lucky. So anyway, I have big decisions to make, and I have some time to make them. I have like a few more days to make my decision. I don't know if it's the best career move. I don't know if it's the smartest thing I've ever done, but I am so glad that I have my family with me. UK, yeah, I'm gonna go be Vettel's intern. That's the amazing opportunity I was given. Yeah, I've talked it over with my sister. We do talk. And more than anything as well, I'm so grateful that I get to bring all of you with me. That no matter what happens, no matter whether I stay and continue to work here or go and pursue my dream job, even if it means, you know, kind of moving around forever because there just aren't a lot of medical robotics companies in the world, whatever happens, I'm so grateful that I have so many good people with me. And thank you so much, you guys. Thank you so much for being with me. Thank you so much for always encouraging me. It is honestly so comforting, like maybe a little embarrassing. Minnie, thank you. That means the world. It is a little embarrassing how comforting it is to know that if I go there, and I'm all alone in a new country with only a few people I know there, that I get to bring all of you with me. So thank you for that. I feel like things are gonna be good no matter what. And I'm so lucky to have the friends and family that I have. Continue to stumble up those stairs! We stay kind of winning a little bit. So, that's where that's all been. Also, Sarah will definitely be there to give me hugs. I know. I'm so grateful for that. Did you miss an announcement? And it's a French one, a little bit. It's a little bit French because all of this happened while I was in France. So, well, you know, Europe, non-specifically. I don't know. I could be a little bit honest about. There was like sort of a code bug meetup. Like a bunch of us all got together there. So I think we did karaoke. We did karaoke. So France is real? I don't know, man. I don't know where I was. It might not have been France. But yeah, it was really, really fun. I don't know if I need to hide that information. I think I was being careful about it when I was there because I was like, what if the airport? But then like now at this point, I'm back home. It was probably Canada. Dude, it maybe was. It might have been Canada. I don't know. They might have been having me on. But it was a magical experience. It was so much fun. Medmo, what the frick? Feels bread and Lucy Pyre Sicario, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the subs. And Medmo, thank you so much for 25 gifted. If I go to the UK, I get to ride the train. I get to meet Medmo and ride the train. I want to ride the train. Medmo, thank you so much for 25 gifted. I don't know what to say. You're always so kind. Thank you. So, yeah. There's a chance that I'll be, a grad student soon. And there's also a chance I will continue to be a robotics engineer. Well, employed. Because I guess I'd be a robotics engineer whether I was studying robotics engineering or doing it. But either way, right? And both are really exciting. We have a lot of exciting things coming up, projects. I want to do my VTuber headgear. I've been saying I need to do that for forever. I want to get my VR working. I have a beautiful 3D model that I cannot wait to show you. And on top of that, I am making myself a sort of chibi, like, mecha style model, like actual like robot model, so that I can absorb the clanker critique in style. I think it'll be really fun. Yeah. So there's a lot to look forward to. And oh my god, just so many things. I have like 4 songs that I need to finish and put out. Yo, you loved school! Oh, dude, me too. I desperately wanna go. We'll see if it happens, but I wanna go so bad. I wanna go so bad. We'll see. Yes, yeah, it's like you, Sprig. It's like you. So yeah, we're gonna have a kind of a cute. I'm thinking that we'll probably do like a special little party for it, and like it'll be the prototype of Ellie, so because it's like cute and baby, and it's also like all exposed electronics, so it's like the prototype. How cute is that? How freaking cute is that? Oh my gosh. So I'm very, very excited to show you guys my prototype form. New songs! Yes! Okay, so I have like a bunch of songs that I have written at this point and need to release, and I can't, because I'm stupid. So, okay. I desperately, I need to plug this in. Oh my god. How did everything get so messed up? Oh, Lordy God, bless us this day. Please. Have mercy. Oh, also, I didn't tell you, but I got the message that I was accepted, and that that they like specifically wanted me to go there. Sorry. While we were in a giant silent cathedral, so we were like seeing this beautiful old church. Whoa, wait, why is everything lagging? That's a no good. That's a no good. Wait. The problem is going to be vBridger, I guess? Yeah, connect to iPhone? Did it just disconnect? Brother, why? Is my connection just like really bad? Huh! That's bad. Okay. Let's see what we can do. I doubt my IP address would have changed. This is why, okay, I didn't reconnect. I didn't reconnect my freaking Ethernet when I got home. And I should have. And this is why you do. Pasta Fazool, I am a fool. Okay, let's see. Let's read my IP address out loud for everyone. Let's read it to the class like a picture book. Ellie Devstream, let's go! And now we see if it's maybe somehow connecting again, please. Do I need to change my phone IP as well? Maybe if I just restart vBridger? Let's just restart vBridger and see if that fixes it. Ellie98. Oh, please work. Please don't get stuck in your little loop. Please don't get stuck in your little startup loop. Please, I'm begging. Please, I'm begging. Well, that's no good. Okay. It's still not connecting. Let's see what's going on with my phone Wi-Fi. This is so fun that we get to have a little dev stream. After this, I want you to know we're going to be playing a game. It's going to be really fun. I'm extremely excited about it. Okay. Yeah, that's not the problem. I don't know what to do about this then. It's just not working. Okay. What do I do about this? Ah! We're back! Oh, thank God! Oh, thank God! Okay, so... Yeah, the 3D equivalent of the 2D equivalent of the 3D model randomly T-posing. Oh my God, what worked? Dude, literally nothing. Like, I'll take credit for it, but nothing I tried worked, and then I clicked a bunch of random buttons, and changed a bunch of settings randomly that had nothing to do with connection, and then it reconnected. So I assume that the solution was time. But... we've got, like, 2 songs that I desperately want to put out. One of them, I really, really badly want it to be, like, fun and upbeat pop, and I'm just so bad at making that myself. I want to find a producer who will work with me on it, who can get it right, but, like, it's the one... Not in the habit of losing, 'cause you only lose when you play. Not in the habit of missing, 'cause you can't miss the shots you don't take. And I don't take these things easy, 'cause easy is not what I do. I'm not in the habit of losing. Don't make me face losing you. This is gonna hurt so bad, so bad. And I'm gonna feel too much, too fast. This is gonna tear me apart. Me and my stupid heart. Me and my stupid heart. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I'm not anyone's something, that's something you wanna change. Got real good at the wanting, but having isn't my game. Waiting, wondering, wishing, but having, that's how you lose. I'm not in the habit of missing, so why am I missing you? This is gonna hurt so bad, so bad. I know that I feel too much, too fast. This is gonna tear me apart. But maybe it's supposed to, maybe it's supposed to hurt like way too much, too fast. Maybe it should shatter me like glass. Gonna let it tear me apart. Me and my stupid heart. Me and my stupid heart. Anyway, so that's one of those songs. I think I missed part of it. I think I didn't play part of it. But yeah, that's a song that I wrote about the fact that, as you may have noticed, I am suddenly doing a bunch of things that I never did before and trying to do a bunch of things that I never did before. I had a very clear distinction in my life between the kinds of things I do and the kinds of things other people do. Other people go see the world. I stay at home. Other people get to level 20 in Duolingo. I don't get to level 20 in Duolingo. Other people go pursue grad school. I stay home and make money because if you put enough money in a big pile, then someday you can die. Anyway, so yeah, that's that song, and I'm gonna try and do other things and take some chances and maybe enjoy my life a little bit. Um, and that's gonna be my goal for a little bit. So anyway, yeah, that's that song about how it's gonna probably hurt really bad and be really scary, and I'm gonna do it anyway. Yeah. Anyway, and then we also have another song that I wrote that I need to figure out how I'm gonna do. And this song feels like the most important and miserable, painful song, beautiful, important to me song I've written. And so I don't even trust anyone to produce it, but I also don't trust me to produce it. So I think it'll probably just like stay like this forever. I don't know. But there we go. I will try to leave you better than I found you. Flowers all around you. Flowers all around, will grow them slowly. I feel like you know me. If you do, then show me how to make a life I'd like to live, and one for you too. Even if these lives are too far apart, I'll take it. Life is what you make it. You are my mistake to make and grow from. Maybe to grow old with, maybe to grow sick of, but to grow together. So I will try to leave you better. I can't tell a story until the story's ended. Reality is fluid, narrative's a lie. We tell ourselves about it. Time is just a place we can return to anytime we want to. Some kind of forever. Just let me put my pack down, listen to the bird songs, fall asleep in your arms, fall asleep in your arms. Sunshine through the canopy, light pooling between the leaves. Whatever life demands of me, this is where we got to be. And I can't tell a story until the story's ended, but I hope this doesn't end yet. I hope this doesn't end yet. Just let me put my pack down, listen to the bird songs, fall asleep in your arms, fall asleep in your arms. Time is just a place now, a place we can return to anytime we want to. Some kind of forever for a boy who made me better. So I will try to leave you better than I found you. Flowers all around you, flowers all around, we'll grow them slowly. I feel like you know me. If you do, then show me how to make a life I'd like to live, and one for you too. Even if these lives are too far apart, I'll take it. Life is what you make it, and you are my mistake to make and grow from. Maybe to grow old with, maybe to grow sick of, but to grow together. So I will try to leave you better than I found you. Flowers all around you, flowers all around. Anyway, yeah, so there's also that song. And I care about that song a lot. And I desperately want to make it exist. But we'll see if that happens, because I'm a little wiener man, and I care about this song so much. I think it's really, really funny that I can talk about this stuff, right? Last time, okay. Let me explain. I think it's really good when people are honest and straightforward, right? I think it's actually really cool. Yo, Vitrolic, that means the world. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I can't believe people listen to my stuff. It means a lot. Okay, right. So, I think it's good to be really honest. I think that, well, it totally makes sense to me that some VTubers are like, my romantic life is mine and mine alone. No one deserves that from me. I think that's really fair. Wakatus, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the sub. And I think that's totally reasonable and entirely fair. But I also think that sometimes being really honest and upfront about what's going on in your life can make sure that people keep healthy and non-parasocial relationships. And it's also just a kind of honesty, and it's exciting. Congrats on getting married! Bro, I wish. I just think it's really funny because I wrote this song because I'm so cynical and so afraid, right? I think, you know, you guys see me doing things with reckless abandon, doing things I'm bad at in public. No, I'm not getting married. You guys see me doing things that I'm bad at publicly all the time. Like, in a minute, we're gonna be playing a game and I'm gonna be so bad at it. You know, I think that you guys get the sense that I'm a little bit fearless a lot of the time. You know, you guys see me in the rest of my life doing all of the, you know, all of the nervous, shy stuff that I do. And I think that you get a sense of that. But on stream, I'm so not, I'm so unafraid, right? And I don't know if you guys see so much what it's like when I am afraid. Ellie built her own AI husband. Real. Not real. Congrats on getting divorced. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah, streamer mode is a real thing. But I'm a really nervous person, especially about the kinds of things that I've never gone and done. And so the idea of even thinking about the idea of opening myself up to something, I'm so scared of it that I wrote a song about it. I wrote a song about it, and that song, everyone thought it was a breakup song. Everyone thought this song was a breakup song. And it's not even about a relationship it's about the idea of what it would be like to be open to the possibility of being in a relationship. And I'm so scared of that. I'm so like, oh, but if it ends, that's cool too. If you don't like me, that's fine. You don't have to like me, by the way. It could end any second, and if it didn't, that'd be super cool, chill and fine. You'd tell me if you didn't like me, right? You know, like I am so stupid that I wrote a song about the idea of possibly being in a relationship, and everyone thought that it was a breakup song. Anyway, the song is, I think it's gonna be called A Promise. I think I'm gonna call it A Promise. And it's gonna be about that promise that no matter what happens, I will do my best to, be kind and reasonable and make people's lives better than they were, even if I can't, continue in whatever capacity I was functioning in. Which is a weird thing to write when there's just some, you know, shared interest. I find it very funny because, like, well over a year ago at this point, I went on 2 dates, with a boy who was not into me. I don't know why he asked me on 2 dates, but he was not into me. And those were the first dates I'd ever really been on. And I went on 2 dates with him, and I was very clear about the whole process, and I explained it to everyone. And I still sometimes get people coming in my streams being like, Ellie, how's your bug boyfriend? And it's like, I went on 2 dates with him a year ago and told everyone in detail. Oh God, Slywit, thank you. That means the world. I am honored that you want to show it to your wife. Yeah, anyway, the bug guy thing didn't go anywhere. We never even kissed. But, there is a way that it's scary to share people, to share this stuff with people on stream, because even when everyone is cool, and I have a lot of faith in the code bugs, they're cool about everything, there's always the possibility that, like, what if this doesn't go anywhere? Like, it might not, right? It's just kind of, right? What if it doesn't go anywhere? And then, for years, people come into my chat and they're like, how's your boyfriend? Are you married yet? Has he proposed? You know, because no one catches every stream, and that is fine and appropriate, but it is really funny. It is really funny, to be looking down the barrel of that. How many kids do you have? 3. We had 3 kids. 3 beautiful children. Oh God, they're growing up before my eyes. Oh, their childhoods. I mourn. I pine for when they were so small. Kaz, thank you so much for the gifted sub. No, they're away at college and I'm so proud of them. Oh, they grow up so fast. Oh no, now I'm old. Are they gonna put me in a home? Anyway, yeah, that's the rate at which I think things go in people's heads. But, no, so grandkids are on the way. Yeah! Oh, wow! We have 9 grandkids now! Oh, man. They grow up so fast. Did I get the house in the divorce? Honestly, that doesn't... I think I wouldn't. Personally, I think that if I ever were divorced, I would not want the house, because it would be sad in there. You know, it would be full of memories. I don't think I'd want the house. In NYC, you get the lease in the divorce? No, dude, I don't want it. I wouldn't want it. I made a fake relationship for the people I know IRL. Well, yeah, but I don't talk to those people anymore. That was at my old job, so I don't have to do that. Do I get cat custody? God. Oh man, for literally just like having a crush on someone who's never even met my cat. Now we're at the point in the conversation where we're wondering, when we inevitably get married and then inevitably get divorced, who will get the cat? And the answer again is probably not me. I don't really self-advocate, and I just want other people to be okay. And you know, I think if it mattered to them, they'd... You can't take the hypothetical house when I'm mourning the hypothetical relationship. So real. So anyway, yeah, this was quite a big yap. I'm so sorry. It's been a really big, exciting time for me. Yeah, thank you guys for everything. Thank you for being so freaking cool, and pushing me to do the things that I've never done and learn more about myself and people. Thank you. So, Sting Raptor, thank you for the raid! And thank you for listening to my music. I'm trying to think, I feel like there are other- Oh my god, right, I did the piano part for Glory, and then I still haven't done the, vocals for it. So that'll be out soon. I need to release Good Riddance with Shumi. Well, god, there's so much music coming out, there's so much going on. And I am so lucky to have the people around me that I have, and to be allowed to be sometimes ridiculous, and to mess up, and to find my feet again. Thank you. Green Day cover? Listen, I'm supposed to be playing a game. We're doing a sponsored stream so that eventually I can buy a car for my niece. Well, the robot niece, not the real niece. I have a real niece, but she's very small. She can't drive. They don't let babies drive here, or anywhere, probably. But yeah, no. We're gonna be doing the sponsored part of the stream very, very soon. Oh, 21 Guns? Is that Green Day? I didn't even know that was. 21 Guns. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Yeah, I don't actually know how that song goes. Let's see. 21 guns? That's so many guns. Chords. Because that was just me trying to do that with my head. And it wasn't great. Okay. I don't know how this part goes, but yeah. 21 guns, lay down your arms, give up the fight. 21 guns, throw up your arms into the sky. You and I. Anyway, but yeah, no. Super Fast Map might be a good resource for remote controlling a real car. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of people who've reached out to me with the possibility of maybe working on things. I got back in touch with some BattleBots people when I was at Open Sauce, and now there is the slight possibility, the barest shimmer of a possibility that possibly, maybe, we could put the girls in BattleBots, which I think would be the best thing ever. I think it would be the funniest thing ever. I desperately want to see her control one, but I have no idea if that'll work. I have no idea if that'll happen, but it's something, you know? And I need to make Evil her drone. I need to make Evil her drone. I've been working on the ice cream shooting mechanism. I think I've got it about where I want it, but right now it's all 3D printed parts, and it needs to not be, I think, to work right, or at the very least 3D printed on a better printer. So, God, if I'm going to grad school, I'm probably not buying a better 3D printer, which means I would need to ask someone else to print the parts for me, or if I'm not going to grad school, I can spoil myself with a very fancy 3D printer, and then I can print the parts. If only I knew a guy who could make metal parts. I feel like metal parts is overkill for launching ice cream, but it does kind of work. You still working on the drone when you sleep? Dude, of course I'm working on the drone. Oh my god, she's also my precious niece, and I owe her a drone. I promised her a drone. It's gonna shoot ice cream, and it's gonna have probably very small swords on it. Yeah, if I'm in grad school, I can use the shop at the school. They probably have the most amazing shop. Oh my god. Yes. Yes. Scratch, thank you so much. Arcastra, thank you so much for 20 gifted. Wow, thank you. Arcastra, oh my gosh. Giga Chad, Gift of Chad. Thank you so much. I am so excited to have access to, like, a school shop again. When I was in school, we had such a good shop, and I got to use it whenever I wanted. And now, I have whatever fits in my New York City apartment, and when I can go down to the makerspace, which is poorly equipped, and there's stupid trainings for everything, even though I'm like, I know how to use this, and then no one, you know? Anyway. She's going full Spider-Gwen assembling web shooters in school. I'm gonna go nutso crazy pants is what I'm gonna do. Oh my god. I am so excited. I am so excited. The trainings are awful. I know. Dude, literally, there was like a training for hand tools, and you have to pay money for it. I was like, I'm not gonna pay $50 for someone to tell me how to use hand tools. I've been using hand tools for a long time, man. Yeah, all of the administrative stuff at Makerspaces is rough, but if I'm in school, I could build that drone with excellent equipment. Grad school is happening? Good question. Great question. Excellent question. Wouldn't we all love to know? So, y'all wanna game a little bit? Y'all wanna continue our Ellie is bad at video games arc? You wanna watch me not know how to use a mouse and keyboard? Wanna watch me be really bad at games? You guys ready? Be really bad at games? Wait, you guys ready? Oh god. Be really bad. Why was that happening? That was evil. That was awful. Okay, okay. Ah! Okay, okay. I don't know how to play this game. So... Ah! Okay, why is my mouse not bound to the screen? That's quite annoying. That makes this extremely difficult. Okay. There we go. There we go. That's good enough. Okay. Now my mouse is approximately in the middle. If it goes off the edge, it still stops controlling the game. Oh, like that? Like that there? Oh, that's so annoying. Okay. So I just can only turn this much. That's awesome. Okay. That's not even my fault. How am I supposed to get over there at this point? I just have to Alt-Tab and then put my mouse somewhere back over it, and then... Oh, I, like, can't turn enough. That's okay. Is there, like, a button for... Thump, thump, thump. Ellie used the gun. Well, I can't make it full screen because I only have one monitor, right? There's a full screen mode, but I only have one monitor. I actually had to do some pretty hacky stuff to get it to run.
Those toys from Kanamitsu now?
Okay.
Yep, they're ready.
They're ready.
I'll tell you, man, this is kind of freaking me out.
You know, a lot of things are freaking me out. Treat yourself to a second screen? We'll see. Maybe. I don't know. If I go to grad school, I'll probably have to do my setup on a laptop, which will mean that I can have a monitor and then I can use my laptop as my second screen. I'm gonna die so hard. Whoa! What is that? Robots are scary, guys. Robots are so scary. Ah! So the deal is, yeah. The deal is, you guys, get to play with me. And whoever wins, whoever's at the top of the leaderboard, will, we'll get a prize. The game window is really loud. I don't know how to fix that. We had like an extension for it, but I don't know what to do. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna turn down band 1, which is gonna be a little bit annoying later. Do we have a link? Yes, it is in my panels, and also it should be spammed regularly in my chat, per the rules. Let's go. Let's go. Start playing. This time for sure, boys. This time for sure. Why are they so scary? Stop it! Stop doing that! Don't come towards me! Stop doing the thing you're doing! You as well, sir! No! I hate him! Doctors hate him! Is he dead yet? I think he's dead. Hey! You're the worst. Oh god. I'm so bad at games. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh, there's a guy shooting at me. Stop. Are there more guys? Where are they? No. Okay, well, there we go. Now we see how it works. Lower my mouse sensitivity. Yeah. So, this is as good a time as any to explain once more that I grew up not allowed to play any games. I had like a fevered few months, where I came into possession, against the rules, without my parents' permission, of a very old Game Boy SP and Ruby, Pokemon Ruby. And it took over my entire life and soul, and it was like the only thing I could think about or dream about. And then they found it, and they made me give it up. I love my parents; they're amazing. They're good parents. We all grew up very studious. But the point is, I don't know how to play video games. I don't know how to play video games. I don't know how to do it. You need to understand. I got through all of Pokemon Ruby. I had never played a game before. I didn't know that you could interact with people if they didn't interact with you first. So the only interactions that I had were people behind counters or people who interact with you automatically. Like, I didn't know that you could just walk up to a person and click and, like, select them. So I did the entire thing without that. I also, as a result, never got a bicycle. So it was a very long time. It was a lot of time that went into that. Oh, I didn't know how to, like, use a Pokédex. Really? So I only ever had like 4 Pokemon? Anyway. Yeah. So the point is, I'm really, really bad at games. People who grow up with games believe that they're very intuitive. But games Games are not intuitive. They are very confusing. And I still don't know how they work because I've played a countable number of games. Like, a number of games that we could count them. We could just count them out. We could just count them together. I have not played a lot of games. So this is kind of fun because I've really never played a shooter. Like, when I would tell my friends, like, because all of my friends play games a lot, and I would tell them, like, I want to play a game, like, show me a game to play. And they would be like, well, probably not a shooter. I feel like that's not going to go well for you. So I've basically never played any shooters. So it's kind of fun that we get to do this together. We get to have this little adventure together. I think this is super fun. And I'm bad at it. My understanding is that I should click on them to shoot them. And then they'll die and stop shooting me. But let me know if I get it wrong. Oh my god, wait, did we crash the game? Are we doing too well? Just click their foreheads? Oh, clicking their heads is the best. Okay, yes. We got this. We got this. We DDoSed their site. Guys, we're too successful. 0 points. Oh, because I died? That makes sense. My highest score ever, 3 points. Click on their heads. Guys, did I break it? Guys, am I a bad boy? What do I do about this? So we're dead, so I won by default. I'm a real boy. Oh no, I won. Yeah, I beat the game because the game is dead and I'm still alive. Force refresh everything? What do I do? How do I do? What do I do? Best performance. Let's see the leaderboard. Wait, what? That doesn't seem right. Shoot. Oh my god, we crashed their servers. Guys, I'm so sorry. We were gonna learn to play shooters together. I was so excited. I can't believe I'm winning. You're all worse gamers than I am. If you're right here in this chat right now, I want you to know I'm a better gamer than you. I deserve these $50. You all should have gotten good instead. I really want to play! This sucks! Okay, come on. I'm sure any second we'll be able to play together. Hey, be nice to my sponsor! They're helping me get a car for my niece. First you get called a girl failure and now you get called a bad gamer. Did I call you a girl failure? Aspen, I was struck. You were pretty, you were well dressed, you had your stuff together, you were very cool. I didn't think of you as a girl failure at all. Did I call you that? Because that does sound on brand. I would do that. That is on brand. So what do we do? Try again? Y'all wanna play some songs together? I don't know what to do about this. Plus $50 for the Neuro car. I can't win. Oh my god, for some reason I read that as girl failure non-denominational. Like we're all coming together for this. Oh god, the power of the bugs prevails. I don't know what to do about this. Wanna play some LUDEO related songs? Oh my god, okay, wait. Actually, there is a song that, that has been kind of like chewing me up and spitting me out lately. Coming Home song? I've never tried to play it, or sing it, so it'll probably be really, really bad. But this is a song that I heard when I was on the plane, and it's so good. And maybe you guys will like it as well, I hope. I think that would be fun if you did. I'm gonna try and play it. I also, oh God, I hate that Ultimate Guitar is such like a little freak of a website. I hate that they literally hate their users. Oh my God. We can learn the RoboCop theme? I don't know how that goes. I didn't know there was a RoboCop theme. Oh my God, my computer is like freezing. All that's running is my normal stuff and this game. How many resources is it using? How is it using this many resources? What am I supposed to do about this? Okay, there we go. I still have to turn off my ad blocker. That's the thing that has not started working again. God, this game, this stream has been so scuffed, considering that I'm finally back on my normal setup and nothing works. How are the streams on not my setup better than this? Smoother than this? Okay, I have no idea how this is gonna work. But I'm just gonna try and sing the song from memory. Let's see. Okay. Authority issues, wish you would listen to someone, even yourself, every once in a while. Take some initiative, wish you'd start walking the walk. Baby, how do you talk to your poor inner child? And cut off your hair if it's too long. Write yourself a coming home song. Yeah, learn from the things that you've done wrong. Leave a light on for yourself. Doing alright at a dang crime. Feeling it all for the first time. You're just getting into your prime. Leave a light on for yourself. Right? Isn't that so pretty? There's no saints in the stars, babe, there's no signs on the ceiling. You get a good feeling, you go with it. Trying to help, you don't want my perspective. Why don't you get your own self over it? And cut off your hair when it's too long. Write yourself a coming home song. Learn from the things that you've done wrong. Leave a light on for yourself. Doing alright at a dang crime. Feeling it all for the first time. Just getting into your prime. Leave a light on. Yeah! It's working! Oh my God. Music. We fixed it with music. We fixed it with music. Okay, are we ready? It's gamer hours. We're gaming. It's time to game. 10,000. Did someone get 10,000 points? God, you guys are too good at games. Jesus Christ. Come on. Yeah! Oh, we did it, boys. Ugh. Please don't kill me, sir. Why didn't I do that before I walked through the door? I should have probably. Ah! 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 Please no, please no! Jesus freaking Christ, stop doing that! You as well! What's in here? Can I go in here? Probably a bad idea, huh? Oh, I already have those. What are recovery charges? Am I supposed to be getting those? Are they good for something? Am I good for something? Why am I so bad at games? Oh, they have a different gun. Is this one better? Could be kind of fun. Where are the guys? Aren't there supposed to be more guys? Ah! Like that one. No! Thought I just killed you. Oh, I should get the other gun because I'm actually very bad with guns and it was faster, so it didn't matter as much that I was highly inaccurate. But with this one, it matters a great deal that I'm highly inaccurate. Yeah! There we go. See, we're learning. H is heal. Z is slow time. Wow, those will be of great use for me. The guy's politely waiting. Oh my god, what is the leaderboard looking like now? Spacebar is dash! Lagging? Yeah, there's some lag. Holy! Oh my god, wait, okay, so, wait, I'm the 4th highest scorer? Cheaters? I don't think they're cheaters. I think the rest of us just need to get... The rest of us have literally 0 points, so I don't think they're cheating. I think we just have 0 points. Unless this is a gamer thing that I need to learn, to call people who beat me cheaters, in which case I will learn it, if you want. Is that correct, everybody? Is that important, gamer skills, for me to learn? Okay, yeah. They're beating us, so they're all cheaters. I bet they're all cheating. I'm learning. Anyone worse than me is trash, anyone better than me is cheating. Got it! Got it! Great, thank you. Ugh. I hate his face. I hate having to look at his face. Why are his eyebrows permanently angry like that? Ah! There's everywhere! Why are they everywhere? Heal? Ugh. Am I gonna die again? Maybe. There was so much blood coming out of him. How much blood is in a person? That guy should have been dead, I think. IMO, that guy should have been way dead. So dead. Infinitely dead. So much blood in one man, huh? 5 liters in a person? That makes sense. They are robots? Then what's all the blood about? There's blood in them. How much blood robots typically got in them? Where are you? Oh, you're there. How did RoboCop?
Someone should have installed a self-destruct system in them. Blow the Tin Man up.
Ah! No. Come over here. I hate you. Your mom hates you. You've disappointed your family. No one is proud of you. Yeah, anyway, so we got 0 points. Let's see how many people are cheating now. Ha! New cheaters added to our list of cheaters. Lecture the criminals? Maybe they'll stop. Are they even criminals? I don't know the story of this game. I know that I'm Robert Cop, and they're also Robert Cop. I know that we're all Robert Cop. Are we? I think we're all Robert, right? We're all robots, I think. And they're... No, not about you, just about the guys shooting at me for some reason. Also, I'm really hungry and I didn't get to eat. So every second we spend on trash talk as a subject of conversation is another second that I get to take a little bite of my soup. Okay, let's go. Nevercake's here! Oh my god, he's gonna destroy us. He's gonna destroy us at this. Real gamers are coming to take away our success. Okay, we can do it. This time for sure, right? What kind of soup? Lentil soup. Jello soup? Nah. What do you mean bite? Like a little bite of soup. Do you guys not say that? Ah! Oh god, I'm gonna die so fast! I'm gonna die instantly! Stop coming at me! Why am I so bad at video games? My parents were right, I hate video games, I hate video games! Who is still shooting at me? Can I just hide in here forever? Maybe I'll just hide in here forever. Maybe I'll have a bite of soup while I'm in here. This music's kind of a bop, though. Herrick, thank you so much for the Prime sub! There is a timer? I see. Did I die? How do you throw a katana? Well, yeah, the timer ran out, but here's what I want to know. One time I got 3 points. How did I do that? How did I get 3 points? Because presumably the timer also ran out that time. I doubt I threw 5 katanas. I don't even know how to throw 1 katana. Middle mouse button. Thank you. Good to note very carefully. That is a good point. Probably, yes. I got 3 kills. See, now I do want to know if they're robots, because I want to know if they've got, like, kids at home that they'll never see again because I killed them. That feels relevant to how much I should be grieving their deaths. The ones with blood have kids at home? That's a crazy sentence. Oh! I died before the timer ran out, and I never took any hits because I never went through the door. I see. Pro gaming move, then, would just be to stand there and wait for the timer to run out. I got this. I got this. You guys, I'm about to be like number 13 on this leaderboard. You ready for this? This is what I'd do in an actual war. Is I'd hide behind here. Is there like a duck thing? Can I like crouch down really low? Let's just put our back to that and look at the door, afraid. This is what I'd do in a real war. Some of us are useless cowards, like me. This stream is sponsored by Hide and Seek. Look at me examining my gun. I'm such a good little Robert cop. As a robot, do you have blood? It's not mine. I didn't make it. Having a snack, looking at my gun, hiding. I'm gonna be so happy if this works. If this works, it's gonna be hilarious. Let's see. Yeah, that's literally me. I'm the meme with Terminator and a child hiding under a desk. That's me. Am I winning? I think so. I think this is gonna get us to top 20 on the leaderboard. Would coolant count as blood or sweat? Depends. We've definitely talked about it as both. Historically, in stream. But we used to do a lot more robot jokes. Wait, no, so that isn't it. So how? So wait, if it's not that, if it's not just like I died before I could get hit, why did I have 3 points that one time? Wait, there's extra points for crotch shots? This is a good game. Guys, this is a really good game. This is maybe kind of game of the year, I think? What do you guys think? Okay, so here's what I want to know. Can you close the door again? Okay, so we might be shooting a little bit. We might be punching above our weight a little bit here, but I'm wondering if I can shoot him. Wait, I can't close it again. Why doesn't the door close? Stop doing that. Anyway, well, we've learned, unfortunately. We can't just back up and close the door again after we've gotten 2 headshots and then have 2 points. How did I get 3 points? Literally, how did I get 3 points? I mean, it could have been 3 crotch shots, but this is the thing. Is like, if I got out there, then the timer definitely ran out, right? Or I died. There's no way that I threw 5 katanas and cleared the level. I feel like I would remember such a thing. And additionally... Ah! That was scary. Additionally, there's no way to, like, back up and hide and get back out. And there's no way to get points without going out there. Gamer Ellie. So how did I get 3 points? Okay, hold up. I want one last bite, and then I will open the door and get killed to death. Ah! Okay, so this time we want to time it perfectly so that we open the door and shoot the guys right before the timer runs out. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna open the door right before the timer runs out, and then we're gonna run back in here and around this corner. See? So we're gonna be here so that the guys can't shoot us, so that we can't take shots. And then we're gonna kill the 3 guys that come through before the timer runs out, but precisely before. That's our plan. Ellie in the mission for 3 points. We're gonna time out exactly how long it takes for this door to open. And then there's like a weird little animation where the guy like tumbles down and it's like he hits you really bad with a sword. We can do this, gamers. We've got this. We can get 3 points. Are you ready? To see gamer strategy in action? Wait, the timer pauses when he's flipping down. Okay, that's good to know. So we need like a lot less than 22 seconds left. There are more coming, I think. We did it, gamers! 3 points! That's our goal. We've achieved it. I'm a real gamer now. I'm a pro game. I will be rebranding now as what's the name of that one agency where where VTubers play games? Where VTubers are gamers? That's gonna be me now. That's me. That was perfect. We got all 3 points. Holy! 3 headshots. Perfect. Perfect. FaZe? Yeah, we're gonna be joining FaZe. I was like trying to think of like, okay, it's like a fun little game that VTubers like to play together where it's like, I wonder what agency you'd join. I don't think there's an agency for me, right? I don't think anybody wants this. I don't think I could ever be Corva because I don't think they would want me. Like, I'm pretty say-so. I keep it clean. I keep it respectable. I'm a little bit silly. I don't think they will. Yeah, stay indie. We do keep learning time and time again that is the right option, don't we? Every time anything comes out about a corp, it's never something good. It's never like, wow, it turns out that on the inside, this corpa is great to be part of, right? Every time we find something out about a VTuber corp, it's always like, and they ate puppies. Also, in a lot of ones, they limit who you can collab with. And that just seems sad. Like, I don't know. I don't want to have to think about, like, the size of who I'm collabing with when I decide whether I want to collab with them. That's pretty lame. Okay, so we're gonna do exactly the same strategy right now. But here's the deal. If we shoot them in the wieners before we shoot them in the heads, then we can double our points. We can get 6 points instead. So that's our aim. We're gonna do the same strategy once more. We're gonna open the door at I think precisely 25 seconds. And then we're gonna do wiener, head, wiener, head, wiener, head. Yeah. Obviously, this means that we're aiming for 6 points, but I will be content to get even 4. I think, honestly, I would be content to get 3 again. Like, I'll be so real. That was kind of lightning in a bottle. This has been a really fun stream. I like when I get to be a little bit silly with you guys. God, soup is so good. Who invented soup? Got the food wet. And then everybody ate that food and they were like, dang, dude, this food wet as frick. This is some real wet food you got here. Jonathan Soup, the wetter of food. Cass, thank you so much for the gifted sub. Okay. We gotta log in a little bit, because I think it was at exactly 25 that we wanted to open it. Neanderthals apparently had soup. That makes sense to me. I mean, they had, like, medicine, probably in some capacity, because we found Neanderthals with healed injuries that would not heal on their own. And there's some evidence that they were using willow bark as an anti-inflammatory, and, Okay, we're ready. Here comes boy number 1. We're backing up immediately. And now we're getting behind here so that they can't shoot us there. And now we're hoping that we can get wiener and head. And then you, sir. And now we wait patiently. No! Ah! 1 point. We took 2 hits, and we didn't get a single crouch shot. Wieners are smaller targets than I thought. I really thought we hit them there. It really looked like it. Oh, it doesn't work on the robots, because they still have crotches. You know, a crotch is just, you know, a word for where things are joined like that. They still have a crotch. They might not have anything. They might be smooth as a Ken doll down there, but they still have a crotch. I should get points. Okay, where are we on the leaderboard with our 3 points / 1 point? No! Y'all are gaming! You and me, Max Spawn. I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna take you down, Max Spawn. You and me against the world. Well, no, you against me. Us against each other. I'm gonna take you down. That is my point. Max Spawn, whichever one of us gets 4 points first. That's the real winner. Grabbing the enemy and throwing with E is super... Yeah, I did that once by accident. Which is how I do most things that I do okay in games, by accident. Okay, so I think there's no way to get more than 3 points for me, right? I'm gonna get hit like a shoot ton of times. If I stay out there, I'm gonna get hit constantly, right? So, How can we do this reasonably? What's our actual best strategy in this case? I don't know exactly how to manage such a thing. Because I do think it was our best strategy. Wow. Okay, Jesus, calm down. Hello, Kobobot! Yeah, here I am! Still at it, man. Still at it. Run at them, hit F, and then H, and then pick up heals. But the thing is, even if you pick up heals, you still lose points if you're hit. So... I think 3 is about all we can hope for. Hello, Yoinked Waffle! You don't think you've gotten more than 16? Huh. Shield! Is there a shield? Is there a shield somewhere? Why do I walk so heavy? Jeepers creepers, how much do I weigh?
You think we should fire up those toys from Kanamitsu now? Yeah, they're ready. I'll tell you, man, this is kind of freaking me out.
What's freaking you out? It does kind of sound like a dubstep beat, doesn't it? Oh, yeah, okay. One more time. This time for sure. You need to lock in? There are no shields! I was looking to see if there were shields. Literally a metal robot? Yeah, dude, that's what I am. I'm that all the time. What do people say, dubstep? Oh, shut up! You're ruining my song! Okay, let's go. Fine. I'll go get shot in the face for content. Wait, I'm actually lost now. How did I get lost? Which way is the right way? Press G for shield. Oh, what's over here? I've never been over here. That's pretty cool. Can I go in there? No, there's nowhere to go in here. Okay, cool. Well, that was fun for us. All of these shelves look the same! H's shield, you said? I'm not seeing any results. Have I shot guns in real life? Yeah. I'm not seeing any results from H. Okay. There's mines in the corner. Huh. G is shield. Oh no. Well? Hey mate, can you check your messages real quick? Yeah, well, I mean, now we can consistently get 3. Ellie get 4? I'm trying! The problem is that the problem is it's unplayable on Australian internet. I'm so sorry. God, I hate when there's crunchy in the soft. I love when there's soft in the crunchy, but I hate when there's crunchy in the soft. Y'all know what I'm saying? You're with me on this, right? Crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside. Excellent. Soft on the outside, crunchy on the inside. Illegal. Here I was, eating my lentil soup, and there was something crunchy in there. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was bugs. Who knows? But the point is... Yeah, croutons don't belong in a salad. Croutons should be eaten before the salad as like a little appetizer snack, so that then when you eat the salad, you know, you're like already full of bread. Because I don't know about you guys, but I enjoy eating a salad. A salad tastes good, but it's not enough food, right? A salad is an activity more than it's a meal, right? I'm too hungry for a salad most of the time. Even if I'm hungry at all, a salad does nothing for me. It's just something to do, right? But if you eat the bread first, then you're like, I don't even mind that this isn't filling me up because it tastes like salad, right? And I already ate my bread in my crunchy bread as a little appetizer. You eat something that isn't beans? Not on purpose. I mean, this soup is beans. Lentils are beans, right? I think lentils are beans. I think this is a really funny thing to say. I'm not a big fan of salads. IMO. You're in your opinion, you're not a big fan of salads? How could you be wrong about that? I don't think you need to hedge that. I don't think you need to express uncertainty about that. I think your opinion is the only one that matters there about whether or not you like something. I don't think that you could... In my opinion, they're not a big fan of salads. Yeah! Lentils are beans but fancy? Lentils are beans but small. Hello, Human Shrek. What a good name. Oh my god. Tomato and cucumber salad is technically a fruit salad? Yeah, I mean, the botanical definitions of fruits versus vegetables are not the same as the culinary definitions of fruits versus vegetables. It's interesting to me how much people seem to care. I mean, for me, personally, it makes sense that tomato is a fruit. Like, I've never found this counterintuitive. Tomato and cucumber are both really, really sweet, right? And they kind of feel fruity. I don't know. Like to me, that one doesn't feel surprising at all. Let's look at the leaderboard. Let's examine. Oh my god. Monsieur, 11,000! Oh. Dang, a lot of you are good at this actually. Wait, what? Yo, Drains is it? Oh my god. How are y'all so good at this? Ah, oh, my queen, Maple. Yo, Sunny got 9K. Oh my god. Sunny, you're so talented. You're such a real gamer. Okay, y'all who are getting 7, 5, and 4. How? How are you doing it? I have only found a way to get 3. Wait, which means McSpawn. McSpawn! Our rivalry has ended. You've bested me. I was never a match for your skills. So, here's what I want to know. We have our winner, I think. I don't think anyone else is going to get over 11K. And we've played for a half hour. And I have soup to eat. So, let's hang out a bit. I think we've completed the task at hand. We did it. I can eat soup now. I even have some bread to dip in my soup, but sometimes I find that experience a little bit distracting. I like bread and soup because it means that you don't have to use a spoon as much, and spoons feel weird in your mouth because they're made of metal. And if they touch your teeth, then you die instantly. But bread is better, I think, than spoon. But also, then sometimes, I don't know, the bread gets really wet in the soup. Like there's a threshold. The bread shouldn't be dry in the soup, and the bread shouldn't be too wet in the soup where it becomes unwieldy. I get a little bit nervous. Store bread or a loaf I baked? This is store bread. I haven't baked a loaf because, okay, so a couple of things. One, I just got home. I've been away for a long time. Like almost a month I've been away from my home. And two, that's why naan works so well. Yeah, naan is goated for that. Doesn't naan also just mean bread, which is quite funny because people say naan bread and it's like, that's redundant. But yeah, no, I had been baking a lot of bread. My sourdough starters did not survive my time away from them. Theoretically, there were friends who were going to come and take care of them, who did a great job with the plants, but didn't seem to succeed. Yeah, chai tea is just TT. Yeah, my dad is one of those people who gets really annoying about ATM machine. Like, if anyone says it, even a stranger, he'll be like, well, did you know that actually the M in ATM machine stands for machine? And it's like, thank you, Dad, this is a stranger. I'm sure they love this. Yeah, PIN number! Another example. Wait, DC Comics? I didn't know. What does the D stand for? Detective Comics! Detective Comics! DC Comics! That's so good! Thank you! God, you guys have expanded my horizons today. SMH my head. So real. Yo, the Los Angeles Angels are the... the Angels! Oh my god, that never occurred to me. That's so fun. Oh yeah, Monsieur. You need to claim your prize as the best gamer of them all. Superman is the face of DC, but isn't a detective? Didn't he do a detective thing once? Wasn't there a comic where he was a detective? I feel like that happened. I know there was a whole run of Batman where he was a private eye in like a noir universe. And I know that there was a noir Spider-Man as well. Have they all had noir detective arcs? That's pretty fun. I love that. Why do we say Los Angeles the way that we do? It's a good question, right? We don't say Los, right? We're not pronouncing it the way that it, you know. But I guess we don't do that with any, right? We don't say Las Vegas either, right? We say Las Vegas. Yeah, I'm taking the family down to Las Vegas. Gonna hit those slot machines. Karen and the kids are gonna hit up the shops. Me and the boys, we're gonna hit those slot machines pretty hard. I don't know why I've decided to be a Midwestern father taking his children on vacation to Las Vegas for this bit. I think it served its purpose though. Guys, was that funny? Can we ask if that was funny real quick? Just like get a quick opinion poll on that. You don't have to actually make a poll. I just want to see in chat how do we feel about that? +2. Okay, good to know. 6 out of 10, that feels about right. Honestly, that feels kind of generous. Dies of cringe? Yeah, you know. I'm a VTuber, and you're watching a VTuber, right? Oh my god, wait, is Las Vegas spelled L-A-S? I'm literally so dumb. I've always thought that it was L-O-S. I've never been there. But like, duh, because Vegas is, yeah. Isn't Las Vegas falling apart right now? Probably, dude. Probably? I don't know. Dude, I thought it was Las Vegas. Yeah, no. I mean, I thought it was pronounced Las Vegas, the same way that we say, like, Los Angeles. Yeah. Yeah, Vegas looks miserable, and I don't want to go there. Yeah, it sounds miserable. I have been to a casino precisely once, and it was the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I gotta be so real. Gambling is freaking garbage. It's so garbage. It's so garbage. It's so sad to look at. It doesn't even look like a hobby. It doesn't even look like fun. They keep trying to market it as a social activity. For those of you who are outside of the US, you cannot possibly understand. In the last 5 years, everything that is advertised, every advertising thing in the entire country is now just like, gamble on sports alone in your home, right? And it's so sad. It's so freaking depressing. It's like every single ad is just like, your wife can't stop you from spending all of your money on sports betting. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I always had the sense that that stuff was really depressing, but it was kind of less depressing because, like, I don't know. I've done like Super Bowl bets with my friends where we're like, where we make like tiny little like $1 for this, $1 for that kind of bets on the Super Bowl, and that's kind of fun. But like, sports betting is an even bigger thing in the EU. Oh, that's so depressing. Literally, I counted every ad that I saw on my way to work was a sports betting ad. I just kind of figured you guys would have that together because you can drink the tap water there, which is still crazy to me. I can almost do it now. I think that if I do go to grad school there, I'll eventually be able to just like drink the tap water straight. This time I still had to like fill my water bottle with tap water and then leave it in the fridge so I would forget that it was tap water and then drink from it. It's so crazy that y'all just do that. Y'all are just raw dogging the tap water. You can rent firearms. I didn't know that there were a lot of gun ranges out there, but it makes sense. It's pretty empty. Listen, I'd go to a gun range. I'd go to some restaurants and accept some discounted stay. But the thing about Las Vegas is it's super way too hot. It's super hot. And I don't want to have to look at all of the people suffering. Like, looking at human suffering is depressing. And last time I went to a casino, it was not even Vegas. It was Atlantic City. And I swear it was like if Chuck E. Cheese was a hospital waiting room. It was so depressing in there. It was like people just waiting to die or run out of money, seeing which happened first. It was so freaking awful to look at. I don't want to be anywhere near that stuff. I don't even want there to be a chance that I have to see that. There was a guy whose sweatpants had like totally ridden down in the back. Like his butt was just out and he didn't even care because he was just like still using the machine. Like he couldn't even step away from the machine for long enough to pull his pants up. That was the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't want to see anything like that again. They look like undead from... Yes, they do! Casinos are so depressing. You used to have cheap breakfast at them until you got sick of the depressing atmosphere. That's extremely noir of you. I can imagine this. I can imagine you in a dark coat just like flicking your cigarette outside like, no more. I can't look on their suffering anymore. Yeah. Freaking miserable to look at. And like, obviously I'm sorry for these people. Like, the biggest problem is not how sad it is to look at. I hope that they are helped, and I hope that things get better for them. I hope that man's pants go back over his butt. But, yikes, man. Yeah, casinos prey on the elderly. Oh, so sad. And, I mean, this is a uniquely American nightmare, but you know the thing about, like, people with cancer going there with the last of their money to see if they win big enough to pay for their cancer treatments more? Like, when you run out of money for cancer treatments, because America doesn't have, like, a healthcare system, you just take whatever money you have down there, and you just gamble the rest of it to see if you win enough to pay for your cancer treatment. And then if you don't, you die. Yeah. Anyway. I'm proud to be an American. Where at least I know I'm free. I have soup to eat. Yeah, Luigi, Mario's brother, was so cool. I love Mario. It's what a good old game. And Luigi's gotta be one of the best characters in that game, I think. I love vintage games, right? Aren't vintage games so fun? I love, yeah. Anyway, I have soup to eat. Sponsored stream, yeah. Anyway. Dude, I'm so thirsty. I should have gotten something to drink. How big is this bowl of soup that it's lasting so long? Well, because I keep yapping, man. I keep yapping. I've made barely any soup progress. It's a regular size. It's like an average, a little bit bigger than average, I think, bowl of soup. So this stream sponsored by soup. Me and Bao should dress up as Luigi and Mario. Dude, wait. Oh my god. She sent me that TikTok with the blue-eyed stare. I swear to god. I guess I can talk about that now. Yeah, sponsored by LUDEO. Yeah, everybody came here just to watch me eat soup, I guess. I'm so sorry, guys. The real money is in bean sponsorships. I should get bean sponsorships. It's lentil soup. It's kind of a spicy lentil soup. It's more of like a, okay, I know that dal is just like lentils, but like it's more, the culinary tradition that it comes from is such that I would call it more dal than soup, but, you know, for clarity on stream, I don't want to have to, right, explain. Thank you, Miku! Yeah, Big Bean should be sponsoring me. Mamma mia! What's my favorite bean brand? The Target ones are the cheapest that I can get around here. It's only like 80 cents per a can of beans, which is pretty good. But if I'm feeling fancy and I want the refried beans, then I do think that Trader Joe's has the best ones around here. I'm at soup! Oh my god! If Bao and I had dressed up as Luigi and Mario, and then ridden the Neuro car, and it would have been Mario Kart. That would have been so good. Campbell's soup is overrated? I don't even know, man. I like soup. I never met a soup I didn't like. I'm into Campbell's soup. I'm into any soup. Listen, Campbell's, if you want to sponsor me, do it. Aren't you owned by Johnson & Johnson? You guys have a robotics department. Okay. I am officially full of soup. Thoughts on tortilla soup? Into it. You could ask me this about any kind of soup. Any soup you want. You're gonna be like, hey, you like this soup? I'm not 1% soup? I don't actually know. But we can find out. I have a scale behind me. From when we were working on the NeuroDog in this room, I still have the scale that we used to measure. Okay. So I am 105 pounds. Now, this is one of those standard, like, what is it? Like, half of a quart kind of containers? Like, you know when you go to a Chinese restaurant and they give you, like, pint, right. We're just gonna assume that water has a similar density to the soup. Okay. About 1 pound. So I'm less than 1% soup. I'm less than 1% soup. Yeah, I have no muscle mass on me. Which helps significantly. Salt water is a closer density? Oh, you're smart. You're so smart for that. It probably is quite salty. Let's see. Pint of salt water weight. I don't think it's gonna increase it by that much. You're 12% spaghetti? That's horrifying. What does that mean? Your digestive tract is a tube, so technically everything in it is outside of you. That's an interesting way of seeing it. Yeah, I guess so. Although I don't like the idea that if you're bleeding from 2 points on your body, then none of the blood you have is inside of you. I don't like that, right? By that logic, you are a donut? You are a donut, right? Do people still ask if cereal is soup? I think cereal is solidly soup. Like, who cares, man? Hey, Green! Ah, man, he's so cool. He's so cool. The topology people. Yeah, I know. It's a curse. You know what I discovered during my time abroad? Okay. So okay. Does anyone in chat know how to say ring in French? Anyone know this? If you know ring in Spanish, that also works. Yeah, there we go. Right? Now, if you guys are familiar with, if you've done geometry, right, you might be familiar with the shape, the annulus. That's the same root, right? An annulus, right? Yeah. An annulus is a, is a shape that kind of works like that, right? It's sort of like a ring. It's a torus. Now, guess the etymology. Now, this is particularly funny to me because I had this whole thing in my head that I've never tried to explain to anyone. But in my head, it makes sense. Okay, so an annulus, what's that, right? It's a disc where you've removed the center, right? If you remove the center from a disc, then you have an annulus, right? A ring, right? Now, what happens if you remove the center of the word annulus from the word annulus, the same way that you removed the center of that disc to make an annulus? If you remove the center of the word, you get anus. Now, the thing about that that's interesting is that middle part that you removed was null. It already was null, annulus, and so there was nothing there at all, right? Now, picture that word that we won't say. Picture one of those, right? If you picture it in your head, and you picture it long ways, right? And then you remove the center, that center that you've removed is itself an annulus. And that is what I leave you with today! Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Anyway, yeah, so that's something that I liked thinking about in math class. And now here we are. And that's why this stream will not make me any money at all. Not because I crashed their servers and played really badly. Why do you guys like me? Why do you guys like me? I'll take a score of 6. Yeah, you did better than I did. Jesus. 10 out of 10, never cook again. Thank you. Thank you very much. I guess I won't. I don't know how. No one ever taught me. I came from a line of very powerful women, right? My dad's mom was like an entrepreneur and politician. My mom's mom was like a professor. Was very, very busy and into her work. And my mom is always working and always doing things. And I think it was like, there was a time in there where it was like kind of a feminist thing to be like, we don't have to know how to cook. We don't have to cook, you know? But then the end result is that I'm here and I'm not really a girl boss at all. I'm not girl bossing in any way, shape, or form. But I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to cook at all. I don't know how to cook anything. And I'm a confused VTuber. I'm also a robotics engineer. Hey, listen up. I'm also a robotics engineer. Oh, speaking of second year uni, computer science, scared to start because you barely passed the first year. The first year is the hardest one on purpose. You know, most schools have filter classes in their first year. You can feel how you feel about that. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know what to say about it, man. But if you got through the first year, even if you only barely got through the first year, it should all be... I mean, hear me out. It's not going to be easier, but it should be easier from there. You guess it's a rich person kind of feminism? What's rich about not knowing how to cook? No one else is cooking for you. Is it wealthy to to not know how to cook. Meaning you can eat out? We didn't. That's not what we did. No, we just mostly ate peanut butter. Buying food from someone else? That's not how it works. Not knowing how to cook is not healthy? Thank you for your contribution. Oh god, yeah, ready. It's gonna be tough, isn't it? Yeah, microwavable mac and cheese is for the wealthy and the wealthy alone. Yeah, I am really wondering how Monsieur got it. Oh, it's just It's only 2 hons. It's a wealthy lifestyle without the wealth. Yeah, I don't think wealthy people are mostly eating peanut butter, but I don't know. I don't know, man. 47-kilogram peanut butter eater. I don't know what this is meant to convey. You can eat peanut butter. You can just eat it. What are you talking? Learning how to cook is just Googling things? Yes, but you have to have time to do it, and I just haven't, you know? I was out of school, right? I didn't have a kitchen for a while. I was living in a little shoebox while I was working, and now I live here where I do have a kitchen, but I'm busy all the time. I have a full-time job, and I also stream, and... Oh no, peanut butter, I'm so sorry! We'll talk about something else. You get the most points from speed, so the trick was just to go really fast. Yes, get a good route and get a little bit lucky. You're incredible. Well, I want to be just like you when I grow up. Did you know you can freeze homemade soup? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways to meal prep, right? Learning to cook stream, it'd be pretty grim. I don't know how to make an egg, dude. I don't know how to make an egg. I've learned to bake bread, and that bread is coming out nice, I will say. Some good looking bread we've been coming up with lately. But easy bake oven stream would go so crazy. Yo, I wonder what it would take to make an easy bake oven actually able to bake bread. Like to get it so that it could actually hold that kind of heat inside of it. It would definitely poison you with plastic fumes, but it might be kind of an interesting challenge. How to make an egg when a mommy chicken and a daddy chicken love each other very much? Well, no, actually. Eggs don't require fertilization. Most of the eggs that you eat have never been fertilized. So it's just when a mommy chicken exists. Have neural control it! Wait, that's so cute! Oh my gosh! Yeah, so it's not even when a mommy chicken and a daddy chicken love each other very much. It's just when a mom chicken exists. Most eggs, yeah, some eggs that you eat will be fertilized. If you get free-range eggs, you'll sometimes find a little red spot in there, and that means that they were fertilized. Eggs are just chicken periods. Yeah, to some extent, right? It's menstruation, right? It's the, you know, you just drop an egg if it doesn't get fertilized, I guess. It's like kind of scary how much money you can make from your eggs if you're like tall and you went to an Ivy League. It's like honestly kind of scary cuz getting your eggs removed, it's not like donating sperm. It's a much more involved process. It's like really involved and unpleasant. You have to like, they inject you with this stuff to make multiple eggs ripen at the same time, and then they like surgically remove them from you, and they have to do it like several times over. But at the same time, you make so much money. You make so much money. Oh god, yeah, we saw that clip about the VTuber who wants my eggs on YouTube. Bajiro, right? Oh my god. Yeah, so, isn't it like 8K per egg or something? Well, it's not, okay, it's not like per egg, but it's per time that you get your eggs removed. And this is the thing, is like, it just kind of keeps stacking. Like, listen, I'm not optimized for a lot of things in this world, but I am optimized for egg donation. Like, I could get so much money. I'm blonde. And I'm in the tallest category. And I had, like, perfect SAT scores. My point is just, like, sometimes I feel genuinely guilty for not doing it. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm a bad person for not having already done it. Like, I could have done it and then put that money in the college fund for my niece and nephew, and that would pay for their whole college if it were in their college fund now. I mean, Probably not their whole college, but you know, a lot of it. What stops me? Like weeks and weeks of going back to get surgery over and over again, permanent scars. You can get some permanent problems from it, and it can impact your long-term fertility. They usually suggest that you do it after you've had kids, which it may surprise you to learn, despite being married and then divorced at light speed at the beginning of this stream. It's a little eugenicsy? Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, isn't it? But at the same time, like, how do I justify not doing it, right? Anyway. No way I don't have kids. Yeah, immaculate conception, which for those of you who were there for my churchy stream would know was one of my fears when I was a kid. Smells Eastern European? Yes. Real? Real? The whole IVF industry is literally eugenics rebranded. Dude, I had no idea until I was working in like the fertility space, which I guess I probably shouldn't have said. But anyway, I didn't realize how eugenicsy it was. It's crazy. It's crazy. When you go to a sperm bank, you choose what kind of guy you want. Like you're picking ice cream. Like it's crazy. Like you just go in and say a flavor of person. That's insane. That's so weird. Yeah, immaculate conception is terrifying. But yeah, no, you're like, this is how much I want him to have on his SATs. These are the schools I want him to have gone to. And I want him to have a very handsome face, you know? You owe no one your offspring? Yeah, that's the thing. That's the real thing. Okay, I couch it and all this stuff about like, I don't want surgery. I don't want the possible impact on my fertility down the line. But the real answer, the real true answer is, I think it's weird. I think that's weird. I don't like the idea of like, somewhere out there are people who are half me and they don't know me. That's weird. How do I feel about the potential future of CRISPR babies? I don't know, right? Okay, I guess here's where I'd go with it. There are things that can happen, right? In conception and development that no one wants to happen, right? For example, Tay-Sachs. Tay-Sachs is a disease that kills you by the time you're 4 at the latest. It is a disease that we don't know how to stop, where you have a healthy, beautiful baby, and then that baby slowly dies for a few years and never, ever makes it out, right? Now, I think that almost anyone would not want that experience. I don't think anyone, and the 4 years that you have are painful and confusing, and you don't really have control of your body, right? And usually it's only 2. 4 is quite a long time to live with Tay-Sachs. So when you're looking at that as an example, right, it's very easy for us to say, that shouldn't happen. We can remove the possibility of that happening, and that would be a good thing. But then, at the same time, right, where do we draw the line, right? Where do we draw the line? Because you do worry about neurodiversity getting wiped out. Yeah, this is the thing. Disability is a slippery thing to define, right? Because the answer really is, the definition of disability, as best as I can define it, is just like, what are we not willing to accommodate? So let's think about this for a second. The average human is somewhere around like 5'8", probably, right? The average human person, right, averaging everyone together, is probably somewhere around 5'8". So we build things for approximately people who are 5'8". But if we built things all for exactly people who were 5'8", and no one who was over 5'10" could use anything, and no one who was under 5'6" could use anything, we'd be like, we did a pretty bad job of that. We should build things better, right? In that world, everyone who isn't within that narrow margin of height is disabled. They can't use anything. They can't do anything. Nothing works for them, right? So, at that point, right, we have created disability. As a society, we have decided that we are going to disable those people, right? They can't use our public infrastructure because they're too tall, right? So that's not how it works. We have made a decision instead that we're going to accommodate as many people as we can in terms of height. But there is a cost associated with this at a certain point. And where we draw that line on that cost is who we decide should be disabled, right? So we've decided that people should be able to use infrastructure, but if you are, I don't know, 6'8", you're going to start having a hard time using infrastructure, right? So we have decided an arbitrary line for every given use case where we've decided people should be disabled. And just like with height, this works for anything, right? So there are people who can walk as much as they want. They can walk forever. They're so good at it. Their legs work great, right? And those people are definitely able-bodied. Let's call those people our 5'8" people. But then we have people who can mostly walk. Let's think about like someone in their maybe late 70s. So they can walk, but they're moving a little bit slow. And if they have to walk too much, it becomes a little bit painful. And this is where you see accommodations like in airports and places where you have to walk long distances. They have those people movers so that you can just stand there and be conveyed. It makes you do less walking overall, right? And that can be much more comfortable. And then you have people who have various kinds of disabilities that make it so that they can walk, but it's comfortable if they stop frequently. They have to stop very frequently. And for these people, right, you might see a lot of chairs in public, right? And then you might see people who use a wheelchair usually, but can get up and walk if they have to. Those people, they might be able to access a building with no ramp or anything, but it's probably going to be pretty unpleasant and a little bit difficult. They might choose not to because of that. The same way that a very, very tall person might choose not to ride in a particular car because it would be very painful, right? And uncomfortable for a long period of time. And then you have people who must use their wheelchairs, right? They don't have an option. Their wheelchair is how they get around. That's how they move themselves through the world. And then, if there's no ramp, I mean, unless they're like mega buff in their arms and they can do those like crazy sick tricks to get upstairs, probably that place is just inaccessible to them, right? And yeah, exactly. Making some infrastructure accommodate tall people might also make it not accommodate short people. And so this is a lot of what engineering is about, I think, right? Figuring out how to make things accommodate people without using a ton of resources and in ways that, you may not have mobility issues, but it's, by God, it's more convenient to have a machine move you. Yeah, I mean, that's also, right? Comfort and convenient also matter. Have I listened to the telepathy tapes? No, I haven't. I don't know what that is. Yeah, ergonomics is a fascinating and beautiful field. And it also goes hand in hand with accessibility, right? We have this idea that there are people who are disabled and people who are not disabled. But we've just presented a spectrum. And where you draw the line for what you consider disabled is really just a question of where the engineers who designed that place drew the line. What do we have the resources to accommodate? What can we think of a way to accommodate, right? It's why a societal collapse would basically kill everyone with any reliance at all, even on glasses or mild chronic pain. You're so dumb. You're literally so stupid. How do you tie your shoes in the morning? I've never met a stupider person. Brother, before there were genetically modern humans, we find people with shattered legs. Oh my God. Humans have taken care of each other, have accommodated each other's disabilities, and have taken care of each other for longer than there have been Homo sapiens, right? We're looking at other varieties of Homo, right? Homo neanderthalis, right? We find evidence of them caring for each other with injuries that would make it impossible for them to care for themselves. Like, I actually cannot conceive of being that dumb, of thinking that, like, if society broke down, we would just leave old people in a ditch to die. Like, God, you're stupid. No. If we didn't have governments like we have, we would still take care of each other because we would still have families and communities. And I don't know about you, but I'm not a freak. So, no, I wouldn't just leave someone lying in a puddle. People who have glasses, if they didn't have their glasses, they would not see as well, but they would still be able to do a ton of things. I'm deaf in one ear, and it just does not get in my way that much. I have a disability that is relatively slight, but does have real consequences. For example, I can't always hear when cars are coming and such things. And I have several times in my life had my friends grab me and pull me out of the way of something because I didn't realize that someone was trying to get by me in the best case scenario and there was a car coming in the worst case scenario, right? People take care of each other. They accommodate each other's disabilities. And again, disability is something that we decide to do. Differences in ability, which isn't like, that's not like the more politically correct way to say that, it just describes a different thing, right? Differences in ability are what each person is capable of, right? Someone may be able to sprint really fast. It's me. I'm really fast. I run really fast, right? I can run really fast. If you can only run for a bit without getting winded, no one would call that disabled, but obviously we have differences in ability, right? Anyway, yeah, it turns out that people are good at things. Yeah, societal collapse, however you choose to define it, wouldn't even get rid of the government and infrastructure entirely. Yes, it would just localize it significantly more. Thank you. Sadbo fan, you are so smart for that. You are so real for that. In fact, you know, a lot of revolutionary action throughout history has dealt with, you know, forcing infrastructure to become local by, you know, making it impossible at a larger scale, right? Yeah, there's a theory that ADHD has some evolutionary advantages. I actually agree with this. I actually think that it's kind of weird how consistent we see rates of neurodivergence across cultures and in different places. If it were just kind of some evolutionary quirk, you would expect to see it kind of localized. Like, for example, Europeans have much higher rates of autoimmune diseases, possibly because of the prevalence of the Black Death. But even without that, right, you see autoimmune diseases at a pretty high rate consistently in one population, but not in other populations. So that would lead me to believe that that is a quirk genetically of this population. But the fact that ADHD and autism show up pretty consistently... I'm so sorry. Also, I'm so sorry to the sweet person who asked a really innocent, sweet question. I'm such a wiener. I'm so mean. Why do you put up with me? I'm so sorry. You're a good soul. I'm sorry. Yeah, there are so many just so stories. And that's the thing. Anything with evolutionary psych is gonna be just full of just so stories. Just like, so dumb, so full of just so stories. But personally, while I cannot make guesses as to the reasons why, although, you know, I think I'm handy to have around, and I think that it's pretty hard to separate the ways that I'm handy to have around from the fact that I'm autistic, right? What's a just so story? Okay, so just so stories etymologically come from a kind of story that would be told about how, like, okay, you ever hear when you were a kid, like old stories about like how the giraffe's neck got long, and it'll be like a little fable about a giraffe who just kept stretching his neck, and then his neck got long, and that's why all the giraffes have long necks. So there's a kind of story across cultures in which that happens. And we've borrowed that word, we've borrowed that explanation to explain a phenomenon in discussion about evolution, where we do the same thing, and it's silly, right? Where we say, okay, my favorite example of just so stories is this one, which I've talked a little bit about on stream. You have a lot of those in the Philippines, yeah. I've talked about this a little bit on stream, but I find it very funny. So, for a long time, biologists were all men, right? And they were trying to figure out, why is it that humans have bazoombas? Right? Why do humans have them, right? So in other primates, they'll swell a little bit when you are pregnant and when you have your first baby, right? When you have your baby, but they don't stay big. You don't keep them big, right? Why? Why do humans get them in puberty and then keep them their whole lives? It's a pretty significant investment in terms of fat, right? Fat is precious. Fat is gold. Fat is energy storage. Why would you keep it there? And the answer that they came up with was all aesthetic because they didn't have them, right? They'd never used them practically. And so never having used them, not having them, and their primary experience of them being like, awooga, you know? And I don't think these are bad guys, by the way. I just think it's a really funny and interesting story, and I think it teaches a positive lesson about just so stories and how we talk about evolution. Anyway, right? Their primary experience of them was being attracted to them. And so, when asked to figure out why do women have these all the time, they were like, "'Cause I like them. They're there 'cause I like them." You know? And so all of the theories were about like, it's peacocking. It's for attraction. It's to signal fertility, which it's not. Most people have them for long, long before they're fertile. This is actually another common misconception. We don't find a lot of evidence of people. Oh my god, we'll get to BMI. We will. We don't find a lot of evidence of early pregnancy in the fossil record when we're looking at people in the in earlier ages, right? We have this idea that people were having kids really, really young and then were dying really, really young. But like we've talked about before, that's not really how it works. So child mortality affects average life expectancy a great deal. So the deal is not that people were living to 30 and then being like, well, I've had a full life. Goodbye to my 6 children. Now it's time for me to die. Right? Infant and child mortality mess up the average. So the real answer is that like half of people were dying in their early youth and then plenty of people were living well into their 70s. What's young, like 13? No. Teen pregnancy is extremely risky. And if you're looking at a time, for the health of the mother, if you're looking at a time when these things were even riskier because there was no sterilization of tools and infection was an enormous risk and there was no way to give oxygen, right, to mother or baby in the event that something went wrong, right? We're looking at enormous mortality for mothers. And that's really bad for a population, right? That's devastating for a population, and we're looking at pretty small bands of humans. So, of course, people were not having babies before their hips widened. It's so stupid. It's so silly. People are literally like, yeah, girls were having babies at 14 back then. Like, no, the rates of infant mortality. Your sister had 5 kids between 13 and 18. It's a miracle she survived. Yeah, I'm so glad that she survived. Oh my gosh, I hope she's all right. Yeah. So the idea that people would have been like I'm sure that teen pregnancy happened then, just like it happens now. But I'm sure that it was also mostly viewed as a bad idea. I'm sure that it was mostly viewed as a bad idea. Because first of all, we don't find a lot of evidence of it happening, right? We find plenty of juvenile girl skeletons, and they don't, right? Yeah, being betrothed at 14 doesn't mean you're having babies at 14, but also, this is such a fallacy. We have this belief that because 1,000 years ago people were getting betrothed at 14 means that, 2,000 years ago people must have been getting betrothed at 13, and 20,000 years ago they must have been getting betrothed at 11. Like, no. The Middle Ages were a really weird and unusual time in history in that people were getting betrothed much younger for mostly political reasons, because of the way that politics worked there and because of the role that marriages played and the risk of waiting, right? But it's just women start the rate at which maternal mortality starts to round off. It happens around the age of 20, right? Women's hips don't widen until their late teens, and you need your hips to widen for childbirth to be safest, right? So, yeah, peasants got married well into adult life. Exactly. So, that's kind of, the important thing to think about is, no, people were not having babies at 13 in and there were never cavemen. That wasn't a thing. People surely took shelter in caves and had holy sites in caves and made art for their holy sites in caves. But people, for the most part, were not living in caves. Well, it was a thing that did happen. It wasn't like a distinct time period where people lived in caves. It was something that would happen from time to time, just like it does now. It's a decent enough temporary shelter, but for the most part, humans are clever. And so... Stuntman! Thank you so much for the raid! Hi! And so, for the same reasons, guys, it's time to exit the caves and start fire. Yeah, fire most certainly predates being in caves, and fire was being used by human ancestors, long before genetically modern humans, and long before anyone knew how to start it, right? We find evidence of cooking with fire at very, very old sites. Oh! Right, we were talking about the male biologists trying to figure out why women had boobs. And so they had some theories, some of which were extremely funny. I think the funniest one was they were like, okay, other primates, they only mate in a position where the butt is visible. So maybe because we can mate in any number of positions, they put a butt on the front so that boys wouldn't get confused. I think this is the funniest theory anyone's ever had. I find it so funny that this was like published and taken seriously as like a scientific theory. I am not joking. You can look this up. This is like in the Royal Academy of Sciences. They believed this. They were like, it's probably so I don't get confused. It's so funny. It's so funny. Right? And they had a number of theories like this. Like maybe it's a peacocking thing. But again, peacocking, right? If it were a sexual display, then you would expect to see it in predictable ways, right? Sexual displays and the things that go along with them, right? Like the size of a peacock's feathers, those are predictable in a community depending on different things about that community. And other elements of sexual display are the same way. Whereas, peacocks have lasers now? Yeah. Yeah, self-report on that one scientist, but also I find him kind of precious. Like, I love that he was just able to admit to everyone that if there weren't anything on the front, he would get confused. I love it. I love it. Like, I honestly think that that's really cute. I think there's something really wholesome about it, too. Like, I don't know, people often talk about this as, like, a problem, but I find it really sweet and wholesome that all of these guys were in a room together like, man, I love my wife, she's so beautiful. Like, I just think it's really cute. Anyway. But, it turns out that the reasons are actually pretty straightforward if you have ever been a woman with these and used them, right? So other primates, their babies don't stay juveniles for nearly as long, right? It might make sense to hold on to these only temporarily if you are, you know, if being a juvenile lasts like a few months, right? But if being a juvenile lasts like 3 years, I mean, people breastfeed even longer than that and probably breastfed longer than that historically, right? And then they're having more babies because remember, half of your babies die, so you are having more babies, right? Getting paid to think about your wife, right? So cute. So cute. So the deal is, right, it doesn't make sense to store and use this tissue because using fat tissue has a cost and storing fat tissue has a cost, right? So it makes much more sense to just store it once, have it, right? And then that's the end of it. Now, why do they need to stick out? Well, there are a few reasons. One, humans have flat faces. This is apparently something that people have to think about a little bit, is if you breastfeed and you are a little bit flat-chested, you have to hold yourself in a very particular way, I've been told, so that you can still let the baby breathe. This is something that was told to me, by the way, unsolicited, by an old woman who saw how flat-chested I was and decided to tell me that this important wisdom. She was like, you need to know that when you have kids, it's going to be really hard for you to breastfeed them. And I was like, thank you, ma'am. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. So anyway, the situation apparently is that having them project makes it easier for a baby to breathe and drink at the same time, which humans can do. You didn't actually, you may or may not have known that, but humans, until a certain age, can breathe and swallow simultaneously. So, no way, Ella, thank you so much! Sending love back! Oh my gosh, my future sister! Thank you so much! Right, if they project out, right? Then you can breathe and drink at the same time, right? And that's important. Now, also, it swivels is the other important thing. So, if you're holding a baby and breastfeeding them, now if you have fur all over you, like say you're a chimp, right? Your baby can hold onto your fur and drink while you're doing other things with your hands, right? But if you're a human, you don't got no fur on you. So you've got to hold the baby in the crook of your arm, which means that your nipple has to be able to reach their mouth from the crook of your arm. And that's much easier if, you know, there's some projection there, right? Yeah, well, you should not try and drink and breathe at the same time because you're not an infant. That's something infants can do. You lose that ability in childhood. Is there really a difference between bottle feeding and breastfeeding a child? I'm genuinely curious. Oh god, it's complicated, right? So a lot of the studies are pretty low quality. It does seem like there are some real benefits to breast milk, but at the same time, breast milk just isn't an option for everyone. And us learning about the fact that breast milk can have a lot of benefits has made it kind of stigmatizing for people who don't have the option to breastfeed, maybe because they adopted, maybe because their body just isn't doing the thing hormonally, which sometimes happens, maybe because their infant just won't latch, right? There are a lot of reasons why people wind up using formula, and it shouldn't be stigmatized, even if there are some associations with better outcomes in cases where people use breast milk, right? With that said, formula is a lot better now than it was then, right? At the time that those studies were initially done, formula was much worse. Formula is better now, partially because of those studies, partially because through those studies we learned what formula was missing. So please, please don't use the fact that, yes, breast milk is almost certainly better than formula as reason to judge people who you see using formula. Now, at the same time, yeah, Nestle is a nightmare company that does not believe that water is a human right. Formula companies do sketchy things to get low-income people hooked. They give it away for free, for instance, which is quite bad, because once a baby has had formula, it's harder to get them to drink breast milk, which can result in reliance on formula, right? Which I think is pretty dark. Also, the rise and prevalence of formula for many, many years, when they thought that it was healthier, when they said that it was healthier than breast milk, it ruined a lot of the networks and institutions that existed to help women help feed each other's babies. So for a very long time, right? Yeah, if something is free, you're paying by other means. Not always true, but almost always true if you're being given something by a corporation, yeah. It's kind of grim, right? But for a very, very long time, there were these networks that existed, right? Of women helping each other, right? Of people who would pump extra milk and share it. Of people who would offer to breastfeed each other's babies if they needed it, right? And, yeah, the first hit is free, a demon talking about baby food. Not just wet nurses. Wet nurses is when it's a profession, right? And a long-term gig. But not just wet nurses, right? This was something that was really, really helpful to people, and people took care of each other and helped each other this way. And all of those networks broke down because formula existed. And now it's much harder to get real milk if you want to give your baby real milk and you can't produce it, right? And that's kind of a shame because a lot of people can't produce it. There are a lot of reasons why you might not be able to. If you've had breast cancer and you've had a mastectomy, right? It might be much, much harder to impossible, depending on whether you've had a partial or complete mastectomy, to breastfeed, right? So anyway, it's a complicated question. I think the companies that sell formula are mostly evil. I am glad that formula is getting better. I don't want people to be demonized for having to use formula. But yes, less so now than historically, but even still, it does seem like formula leads to worse outcomes, particularly in glucose regulation and weight management long term. Yeah, anyway, this is probably way more in depth than we needed to go. Aaron, thank you! Oh my gosh, and Straight Man, thank you! As a new viewer, I say, okay. BMI is interesting because BMI started out as a way as a descriptive metric and not as a prescriptive metric, right? And that's the most interesting thing about BMI. BMI started out, it was not an observation of what was the healthiest or the best for you who lived the longest. It was literally just a description of how big most Dutch guys were. It was only of men, and it was only in the Netherlands. And again, people frame this guy as some kind of villain or like he was trying to mislead people, but he wasn't. It was literally just a descriptive metric. He was just trying to describe how big people were. And, you know, he was trying to find a more useful way to do that, right? We were suddenly needing to standardize a lot of things. We were trying to find out, for instance, how much food people needed, right? When you have a bigger population that you're governing and you're trying to govern more actively and you're trying to make sure that people's needs are met, it's really, really important that you know how much food people need, right? And this man was just trying to find a good, useful way to do that. And what he found was I'm trying to think, I don't remember the formula, but it's just basically a relationship between weight and height, right? It's your mass in kilograms divided by the square of your height in meters. Perfect, yeah. So it's just a relationship between your height and your weight. And it was never meant to be anything. It was just how big most Dutch guys were. Now, this is particularly funny when you consider the fact that, like, I mean, obviously, there are some obvious problems with BMI. Let's go through the obvious problems with BMI first. One, it doesn't take into account the difference between muscle mass and fat mass, right? Which are obviously pretty relevant, right? Two people can have the same BMI and have extremely different bodies, right? But that's also true in other ways too. So when you look at the parts of your body that are bigger, right? When you grow, right? When you grow tall, a tall person and a short person don't have exactly the same proportions, right? A tall person is mostly leg, right? And you get more leg and arm the taller you get, right? And and bone thickness. People laugh about how bone thickness like is like some kind of cop out or something, but as someone with extremely thin, small, light bones, I can tell you, like, I am technically underweight, but I'm not. Every time I've ever gone to a doctor and asked about it, they've been like, "Yeah, you look pretty healthy, right?" I have plenty of fat on me. I'm quite comfortable and I run very fast. I don't feel tired, right? I just have very small bones. Yeah, huge ankles though. Huge ankles. Yeah, and that makes an enormous difference. So anyway, you're more torso? I'm sorry I've offended you. You and your long torso. I also have a fairly long torso. But yeah, these things will change your weight, right? So when you look at BMI, how tall you are also matters. Even though height is part of the equation, is taken into account theoretically, the taller you get, the smaller a BMI actually is for you, if that makes sense. So those are some problems that seem pretty obvious with BMI. But also, okay, the science on this is rough, right? Nutrition science is always kind of a battlefield. There's a ton of money in it. It's not well respected as a science, and it gets sensationalized so much, and there's so much funding and hype and media attention, and you can sell a book for a lot of money. It kind of encourages people to take their research in the most sensational direction possible, in a way that you don't really have in other fields of science. So there's something a little bit untrustworthy overall. Also just misinfo. But yeah, don't even say keto diets. They'll come out of the woodwork. They'll be like, you gotta drink heavy cream right now. Drop to the ground. Drink heavy cream right now. I live in fear of them. Oh god, all the supplements too. Yeah, you know, we've talked about it before, but eat what makes you feel good and healthy. If you notice that you are having trouble feeling as good and healthy as you were before, seek medical attention. If something makes you feel good, go for it. I'm not going to tell you not to eat keto if it's making you feel amazing and strong and you feel so much better now. You love drinking heavy cream and you're not even on keto? Go for it. Don't let me stop you. Don't let me stop you. Right? All of this stuff gets weird when it gets prescriptive, right? All of this stuff gets weird when it gets prescriptive. 30 pounds of Flaming Hot Cheetos make you feel good? I don't believe you. I don't. Listen, maybe I'm wrong on this one. I'm willing to accept that I might have to take that L, but I don't think it does. You lied! I got you! I got you! The Red 40 diet? Yeah, classic. Classic. Builds you strong. Made in America, full of Red 40. Look at me. That's why I turned so red. Less calorie, more protein and fiber. Confusing. Okay, we've talked about this a little, but the way that we calculate calories is basically throwing a dart at a board. It's super dumb. So, okay, let's play a game. Let's play a game called How Do You Figure Out How Many Calories Are in Food? Now, you're probably gonna say, Ellie, that's simple. It's the bomb calorimeter. Don't you know? Don't you know about the bomb calorimeter? The bomb calorimeter is a device that lets you see, right, what a calorie is, which is just how much can this raise the temperature of water, basically. Lighten it on fire. Now, you might notice that fire can digest a lot of things you can't, and you can digest several things that fire can't. For example, paper gives fire a lot of energy and does not give you a lot of energy, right? So obviously, that is not accurate, right? Wood, full of cellulose, has basically no energy for you, and yet has a ton of energy for fire, right? So, not very useful, is it? You've eaten paper before and it was fine? Yeah, you can eat cellulose, it's just that you won't digest it, right? It's an insoluble fiber, and... Is it a soluble? I'm not sure. I think it's an insoluble fiber. You won't get energy out of it. So let's talk through the categories real quick. The categories of food are extremely broad, right? When we're talking about a carbohydrate, we're talking about a pretty big range in chemicals and different things that your body will do with them. Now that range is even bigger if we're talking about proteins, right? Proteins are just like anything made of amino acids. There are so many of those. Yeah, if you're looking at your macros, there's this idea that they're all pretty similar to each other. They're not. Things in that category vary wildly. I mean, the category of fiber is literally just stuff you can't digest. Things that are all fiber aren't even similar to each other. These are barely scientific categories. Now, the way that they calculate the nutritional information of your food, there are a few different ways that they can go about this. 2, really, are used. So, theoretically, they could use a chamber, right? A metabolic chamber. Now, a metabolic chamber measures the CO2 that you breathe out, right? It measures how much carbon there is in your exhalation, and it measures what you take in. And so, theoretically, right, it's like, yeah, I can figure out, how much energy you got out of that, right? In this way. Except, no, you can't. Because humans are digesting themselves constantly in unpredictable ways. You have no way of knowing how much of the energy that someone is currently exhaling came from the food they just ate and how much came from themselves. People are constantly digesting themselves and getting energy from their own bodies, right? So, no. So, it doesn't really tell you much of anything. Now, the second strategy is they decided how many calories were in the average carbohydrate, for instance, right? Now, carbohydrates vary quite a bit. That's a pretty broad class of material. They vary quite a bit from each other, right? Plastics are sometimes carbohydrates. But they figured an average number for carbohydrates. They figured an average number for each of the macros. For fats, right? And again, think about the fact that, like, different fats can have wildly different caloric profiles, right? You can get different amounts of energy from different amounts of fat. And considering the role that our microbiome plays in digestion and how unique microbiomes are between individuals, not only can some people not digest something, right? For some people, they might get 0 calories out of something. For someone else, they might have bacteria that are really good at breaking that down. And then, you know, they get a lot of calories from it. And it can't in any way account for that. It's just an average estimate for all proteins, how many calories per gram. And then they guess how many grams of protein there are in a serving. And remember that servings can vary by 50% when packaging. So they are almost certainly incentivized to get on the lower end of that, to get a number as close to half as possible. And then they just kind of make a guess. Like, it's actually quite hard to tell with any degree of certainty. And even if you're packaging like a really, really uniform packaged food, like chips, it's actually pretty hard. Yeah, there is so much tolerance. And so, once you actually start getting to the bottom of this, it means nothing. The calories that it says on your food, it means almost nothing. Especially, and this is my Roman Empire, is this fact specifically. So, around the time that keto took off, there was this incentive to put less sugar in food, right? Now, this is an easy enough thing to do, because there are classes of syrups and fibers. Inulin, particularly, is a soluble fiber that some people are able to digest and some people are not able to digest. It depends on your microbiome, like many fibers. Now, inulin is sold as a syrup. It is lightly sweet. It can cause digestive issues in some people. If you can digest it, it's just sugar. And the way that it's processed and sold in this syrup format, a lot of it breaks down into sugar in processing and transportation. This is why it's sweet. So, what happened, and this is quite grim, is that all of these companies started using sweeteners that were just sugar. They raise your blood sugar and can be deadly to diabetic people who don't know about this, right? They started using these, but they get to declare them on the wrapper as fiber, right? If you get inulin syrup, it's fiber, right? Tapioca syrup, it's fiber, right? Never mind that it has basically no actual fiber in it. So, pretty grim thing, huh? Yeah. You see a rise in diabetic deaths around this time, especially since our doctors were wisely advocating to people, hey, there are a lot more keto options out now. If you need to control your blood sugar, maybe this is a good option for you, you know? Except no, because the packaged foods made to appeal to keto people were full of sugar, and they still are. If you look at the packaging for like a low sugar thing, usually I like to do this with like gummy candies and stuff, where they'll be like only 2 grams of sugar per serving. If you look at the ingredients, you will almost always find something like inulin. There are other ones too. There are a lot of sugar alcohols used as well, even though some sugar alcohols are much more dangerous than other sugar alcohols, and a lot of them are dubious. I really like Gamersups, and I think it's a good product, but I do want them to evaluate their use of sugar alcohols, because they are including some that do seem to have unpleasant associations with certain health outcomes. Anyway, use code MINIBOT for... Anyway, sorry Gamersubs. We'll do a V-card unboxing at some point. Anyway, yeah. Artificial sweeteners are a little bit scary and weird and untrustworthy. And it seems that bodies adapt to them and that they can interact, right, in the best case scenario, interact weirdly with your microbiome, right? So, yeah, any sponsor's dream client. Guys, this is why I'm never gonna be in a corporation. This is why I'm never gonna... No one wants me. This is why my only sponsors are LUDEO. I literally have a manager now, and my only sponsors ever have been LUDEO. They can't get me anything else because I'm a monster. Yeah, aspartame, acesulfame K, right? Acesulfame K is aspartame, right? And as long as you don't have fetal ketonuria, it seems like it probably isn't a problem, and as long as your brain isn't developing. Although, again, the science on the developing brain stuff with aspartame was pretty shaky. So I don't really know or care on that front. Personally. So yeah, I think that's probably. I'm like scrolling back up to see if there's anything that I missed. Yeah, sucralose, xylitol. There are any number, right? But anyway, saccharin's being banned in some places. Yeah, good thing. When's the PCBWay sponsorship? They're never gonna give me one, man. I'm never gonna have a PCBWay sponsorship. Oh no, they don't put holes in your brain. Okay, so the deal is aspartame is. What's the lowdown on erythritol? Ooh, I shouldn't get into it. I'm sponsored. Any good sources you can recommend on this stuff? NCBI, right? If you just like look up, right. If you have access to any kind of journal database, right? Scientific papers are always going to be, I think, the most reliable, but don't make the mistake of thinking that every scientific paper is like absolutely true, right? Look for meta-analyses. Meta-analyses are great. Look at the methods, look at the sample sizes, see how you feel about it, and most importantly, I think, see how the scientists feel about it. Very often, these studies that get blown out of proportion, that get taken as like, this is the absolute truth. The scientists themselves in the paper were like, yeah, this is an area for further exploration, right? So anyway, yeah, Splenda, they just keep finding worse and worse things about it. So that's, probably not great. Is poppy even a proper alternative to sodas? It depends. It can cause some digestive distress, like a lot of things that use sugar alcohols, and there is, again, sugar alcohols. Look into them. So yeah, no, oh yeah! This topic has been fascinating because your mom sent you an article about French fries causing diabetes, and being you went and read at least the abstract of the paper. Doesn't seem like they were correcting for the fact that people eating French fries were also eating fast food in general. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, nutrition research is shady as research goes, and nutrition reporting is so much shadier. Always go read the original study, see what the scientists themselves thought of it, see what conclusions they were willing to draw. It will be better than whatever crazy, blown out of proportion, reporting happens on it. Also, yeah, rats are rats. So, acesulfame K, right? When we're looking at aspartame, if you have phenylketonuria, which is a condition where you can't break down fetal ketonurics, then they can build up and they can do a lot of harm to you. With that said, most people don't have this condition, so it's not really something you have to consider, and you'd know if you did. And even more than that, no, not even more than that, but in addition to that, they taste really bad and weird and bitter. Personally, I just think that sugar is the one that tastes the best. This is how I feel about ice cream, too. I remember when Halo Top was such a thing, and people were like, it's ice cream that you could eat a whole pint of. And it's like, yeah, but don't eat a whole pint of ice cream. Even if it's less food, that's an unhinged thing to do. That's more ice cream than you should want. That's more ice cream than you should eat. Don't say you get to eat a whole pint of ice cream. Who the frick wants to eat a whole pint of ice cream, right? So for me, personally, it's like, yeah, you can eat a whole pint of any ice cream you want, but you shouldn't, probably. It will probably make you feel kind of gross. And it doesn't really matter if it's low-calorie ice cream or not, right? Personally, for me, if you're eating so much ice cream that it's making you feel sick, the solution isn't to eat a different kind of ice cream. The solution is to figure out why you're eating so much ice cream that it's making you sick. Self-control is a virtue? Nah, we don't do self-control. Self-control is for wieners. Self-control is for sad almond moms. Don't do that. Controlling yourself, first of all, it doesn't work. And y'all can say what you want about this. It doesn't. I know that there are going to be some people who get really spicy about this, but it doesn't work. We have like so many studies on this. We have so many studies on this. Dieting doesn't work. Self-denial doesn't work. It leads to weird binge and starve behaviors that make people wind up consuming more calories. It just doesn't work. So, anyway, if you want to lose weight, which there are many reasons why someone might want that, then it's a very sad thing to know that we haven't had a lot of success in inducing that clinically. It doesn't work very well, and it doesn't work long term. Now, I don't know what the solution to that problem is. Like a lot of people, I don't really understand why obesity is happening, right? Top researchers don't understand why it's happening. It is a confluence of things, almost certainly, right? Hyperpalatable foods that don't exist in nature, that have no equivalent in nature, that you can't really estimate. I think personally that the biggest offender is probably hormonal disruption, right? The fact that so many more people are suffering with insensitivity, right, to their satiety hormones leads me to believe that something is interfering with our satiety hormones the way that things are interfering with other hormones that are easier to track for sure. For example, male fertility has plummeted, right? Since the 70s, it's fallen by like half, like 50% across the board. Now, that is almost certainly a hormonal issue, right? And it is not a stretch for me to assume that the reason why people are gaining weight much more than they used to is not, you know, people suddenly can't resist French fries. It's almost certainly a hormonal issue. And I hope that we find out more about this. And I hope that we find a solution and help people. You heard it's because phones and laptops heat it? That's wrong. You can just Google that if you want. No. Silly goose. But we don't know why. We don't. It could also be the work style nowadays with sedentary. No, we've also kind of disproved that one. Most hunter-gatherers are actually fairly sedentary most of the time. Yeah, it's easy to oversimplify why, and anything that you can think of in my chat in 10 seconds, I assure you that the top scientists in this field have thought of, and they don't know why either. Yeah, estrogenoid pesticides and plastics and everything, yeah, are scary and are possible. Can you blame Nestle? Yes, and you should. I don't know if it's their fault. Not this one anyway, but, you know, enough other things are their fault that go ahead. But yeah, no, you think it's the Fae? Yeah, maybe. Maybe someone made a deal they shouldn't have made. So, anyway, we don't know why. It's VTubers? Yeah, it's my fault. I'm making everybody fat. Ha ha ha! We don't really know why. But I think that being overly punitive and strict with yourself, it's just kind of demonstrated over and over again that when people feel ashamed about their bodies, they gain more weight instead of less weight. Now that there is no presidential fitness test, wait, do you think that the presidential fitness test was the reason why people weren't overweight in the past? Something that they do for like 3 weeks of the year was the reason why? Oh, that's hilarious. Anyway, have fun. It was me, Barry. I lowered your sperm count. Yeah, its name just got changed. They still have that. Exercising is important? Yes, but it's also not less prevalent. We have this idea that people are a lot more sedentary than they used to be, but it's just not true. People have always sat a lot. Now, people sat differently in different positions, but no. It just turns out that people sit a lot. So anyway, we don't fully understand why. There are a lot of factors. Most of the ones that you're naming, probably not the presidential fitness test one, but most of the other ones that you're naming have something to do with it. It matters to me that we figure it out, because it is hurting people. But we don't have to jump to, right? The whole idea of like, well, it's just calories in and calories out. It's not well substantiated. Your car is smarter than that. Your phone is smarter than that. Do you really think your body, the product of so much evolution, such a beautifully well-tuned machine, cannot account for the amount of energy that it has remaining? Do you really think that? God, people are dumb. Anyway, what about the marketing angle? Almost certainly an aspect. Like I said, right? The rise of hyperpalatable food, marketing to make you eat more of that food, etc. Who knows? But the real answer is we don't. And, evolution in my Christian stream? Listen. If you believe that we were made by God in his image, then maybe even more so. We should be smarter than a phone at regulating our own energy usage. Yeah, whatever the reason, there's almost certainly more than one. So, whatever the case may be, you stunned me? So yeah, no, we don't really know why, but you can look at these papers yourself if you don't believe me. Diet doesn't really work. And we don't really know why, but it does seem to have negative mental health outcomes, right? And so I think that the best thing that I can give you, and I don't know, ultimately, if this helps you, but this is what I find comforting, right? Is, be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. The things that are not good for you, the things that are hurting you, they feel like they're hurting you. So don't eat them. Be kind to yourself and don't eat things that hurt you, you know? Instead of thinking of it as like, I'm not allowed to have more ice cream than this, think of it as more ice cream than this will give me a tummy ache. And I don't want a tummy ache. I'm a good guy and I don't deserve to have a tummy ache. Right? Veggies hurt you? What's going on there? That actually might be a good reason to talk to a dietitian, right? Whether it's texture or flavor, they almost certainly have ways to get them down anyway. And if the problem is that veggies are messing with you digestively, then that would be a great reason to talk to a dietitian and see what you can do about that. Because it might be a microbiome issue, right? That might be solvable. And you might be able to work up to eating more vegetables. But again, I'm not going to talk in any absolutes. I'm not going to tell you, you have to eat vegetables, right? There is an amount of vegetables that'll make you feel sick to your stomach, too. Do the things that make you feel good, because you deserve to feel good. And every time I say that, people are like, okay, Ellie, so I'm gonna eat a lot of broken glass. And it's like, I don't think that makes you feel good. Could chronic stress be part of the problem? Almost certainly. And people are like, okay, then I'll just eat a lot of candy. And it's like, this is not normal. Right? I think that one of the strangest things about what the constant expectation of dieting has done to our brains is that we have this idea, yeah, okay, Ellie, I'll do heroin then. And it's like, obviously not, right? We have this idea that if we were left to our own devices, we would just eat as much candy as possible, right? We have this idea that the best thing, that our favorite thing would be to do very unhealthy, unpleasant things. But this is not true. This is obviously not true. Those things don't feel good. How do I know? Because when I was a kid, I ate too much ice cream one time, and I was like, oh, I feel like garbage. And then I didn't do it again, right? I had a similar experience with Laffy Taffy, right? I ate a lot of Laffy Taffy, and then I felt ill, so I didn't do that again. So, you know, do the things that make you feel good and right, you know? I don't run because I should run. I think that's almost always sad. I don't practice piano because I should practice piano. I don't even really think of it as practicing. I run because it feels good to run. And I play piano because I like to play piano. And I eat an amount of ice cream because it tastes good. And then I stop eating the ice cream when it starts feeling like I've had enough ice cream. And I think that people would be pretty good at this, right? I think that people would be pretty good at doing this, at handling this, and at thinking about this, if they weren't sort of trained to think The best thing they could do is eat chips until they threw up. So, how can a Roomba play piano? Carefully. Yeah, your brother worked at an ice cream shop. Yeah, and that's the thing. People who work at ice cream shops and stuff, they have the sense that they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna eat so much free ice cream. But they do that like once and then they just kind of don't. Sometimes they'll have a little bit of ice cream, but mostly they don't. Because the fact of the matter is, you don't like to hurt. You can tell what feels good and what is good for you because they're the same thing, right? When I say feels good, right, I'm talking about like a holistic kind of feels good, right? You can tell when ice cream stops being fun. And if you have a kind of miserable desperation for it because you weren't allowed to eat enough when you were a kid and because you were always told, no sugar, only vegetables, then yeah, you're going to be desperate for sugar and it's going to make you bad at telling when you've had enough of it. But yeah, no. You're capable of telling what's good for you. Have some faith in yourself. What about the hurt you get after a long hike? Like good hurt? Yeah, I feel like good hurt is pretty distinguishable, right? You can tell good hurt in your body. It feels good. And you can tell bad hurt in your body too. And you can tell bad feels good in your body as well, I think. Personally, I can, right? Sometimes I have too much caffeine when I'm not thinking. Like at work, if I'm just like having a lot of coffee, I can get way over caffeinated and it feels really, really good, but in a way where I can tell that it's going to feel bad later. You can just kind of feel that stuff. Your body's pretty smart. So, don't be afraid of the good hurt, don't seek out the bad hurt, etc. So, you've never in your life experienced good hurt. You can't relate. This is actually a phenomenon. Some people don't. And that probably means that, if when you exercise, it just bad hurts, maybe again, talk to a medical professional. That's something that it would be good to get their input on. What are my thoughts on coffee? Tastes good, man. I like the smell. I like the taste. I enjoy coffee a lot. That's what I gotta say about that. Feels good when I drink it, as long as I don't drink too much of it. Same with ice cream, I feel like the same way with ice cream. If you drink too much of it, you feel a little bit sick. Oh my god, yes, tea is amazing. Tea, I've never had too much tea. Literally, I've never had too much tea. Tea has only ever made me feel better in my whole life. Bean soup is amazing. Bean soup feels so good in your body. Dude, it's like a good texture. It's a good flavor. It feels good to swallow it. It feels like soothing and comforting on a cold day, but it's not too overwhelming on a hot day. Man, I love soup. This just turned into like me talking about soup. Why do you guys listen to me? Jesus Christ. Do I remember you as a person who can't taste bitter? Yeah, I can't really taste bitter very well. I can taste it, but I can't taste it very well. You can get testing strips online if you're ever curious, to see how many bitter sensors you have. You're starting to learn guitar! Wait, that's so exciting! Wait! Thank you for being an inspiration! I'm honored! Oh my god, I'm so glad! I am so beyond honored! That's so exciting. Oh my gosh. Yeah, soup's awesome, dude. Soup is so good. I love a good liquid. I love to drink a liquid. I love to eat a liquid with a spoon. I love to dip bread in a liquid. Man, I love a liquid. Your mom makes Moroccan chicken soup. I wonder what's different. What's different about Moroccan chicken soup versus the chicken soup that I would be familiar with? If you think about it, the intracellular network is just... The intracellular matrix is just soup. So good. You're a super taster. You bought the strips. Yeah. So my whole family is, well, not my whole family. My mom is not. She tastes bitter regularly. But my dad and all three of us, me and my sisters, are all we don't taste bitter very much. My sister barely tastes bitter at all. The rest of us can kind of taste it, but it's not as much. But my sister literally thought that bitter meant brown. Yes, I've had sips of IPAs and they were quite nice. But she thought that bitter meant brown because she didn't know that it was a taste. Like people would say this is bitter and she would taste it and it wouldn't taste like anything other than like sweet and, other flavors that she knew. How do I know if my sister tastes wait, you're funny. So she just kind of assumed. You would think bitter is green? Well, but think about like the things that people say, oh, this is really bitter about, right? People say that, right? Vegetables are bitter, I guess, but people don't say, oh, this is so bitter that much because vegetables are always the same amount of bitter. But people will often call dark coffee bitter, right? And people will often say, oh, this dark chocolate is really bitter, right? Isn't bitter the poison taste? Well, among other things, right? Bitterness is kind of a catch-all for all kinds of plant compounds that may or may not be hazardous and may, you know, be good for you even. And so it's good if part of your population is more sensitive to bitterness, part of your population is regularly sensitive to bitterness, and part of your population is much less sensitive, right? Because we need to discover what foods are edible. And we need someone who's on the lookout in case eating too much of this makes you sick, right? Yeah, so anyway, personally, ooh, sour is yellow or green. I agree because of lemons and limes. Sweet is red. I don't totally follow, but I'm kind of into it, like candy apples. Salty is gray. Bitter is brown, I agree. And black, maybe. Umami is purple and white. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Ah, umami gotta be... Shout out umami one time. Gotta be the most goated flavor. Like, oh god, a good tomato, a good mushroom. Yeah, that goes crazy. Man. MSG on top. Yeah. Where does savory fit in here? Well, savory is kind of complicated. Sometimes savory means umami, sometimes savory means salty. It depends on your culinary tradition. But either way, we've covered it. A good morel. Oh, man, right? Oh, man, yeah. A bitter gourd is really tasty. Oh, is bitter gourd really tasty? I've never had it. I've never had bitter gourd. I don't know what it is. Oh my god, a tomato fresh picked. Dude, I grew some tomatoes this year. Oh, chef's kiss. Mwah! So good. So good. Warm from the sun, fresh off the plant. Yo, a tomato hits. Okay, before we get more tomato talk, it's been 3 hours and I've mostly just been talking about tomatoes. Jesus Christ. Why do you guys watch me? I love you all. Why do you watch me? This has been a kind of a crazy stream. Kind of a crazy stream. When is the next lullaby stream? I'll try and do one soon. I promise I'll try and do one soon. Maybe next week, if I can. Ellie likes tomatoes. I love tomatoes, man. Tomatoes are top notch, top tier, in my opinion. Okay, so I don't know who we're gonna raid because there's a lot of people on right now, and I love them all. Minnie was in chat earlier, so I think that we should Yes! Oh my gosh, sins of omission! I was actually wondering if someone would bring that up. When we say Immaculate Conception, we almost always, culturally, understand it to mean the conception of Jesus, but it isn't actually that. It's the conception of Mary, right? Conceived without original sin. Conceived immaculately. It's a really interesting thing, but I didn't know that until much later in my life, and I did know about the Immaculate Conception that we talk about all the time. You know, the idea that, like, she got pregnant without doing anything first. God is dead? Is that controversial here? Here's what's controversial about that. It's a misunderstanding of what that quote means. God is dead is something that I say jokingly sometimes on stream. God is dead as a philosophical thing doesn't mean there is no God. It's not a statement about atheism, right? God is dead does not mean there is no God. If you want to say there is no God, you can say that. And whether or not it will be controversial here, I don't know. I don't ask my viewers regularly what they believe. But I think that we are a place where no one will jump down your throat. I mean, it's a little bit, yeah, it's a Nisha quote. It's a little bit weird to just, like, out of nowhere be like, there's no God! You know, like, that's kind of freak behavior, I think. Like, I think you can maybe not do that. I've been an atheist my entire life. Like, I don't know, man. I think it's just like, you don't gotta, right? It just doesn't matter. Yeah, Nietzsche's often misunderstood. Although, here's what I'll say about Nietzsche. when he was really losing it at the end of his life, a man was beating his horse for not moving. And he ran to the horse and he sobbed and he said, "I understand you." And I have never found anything in his philosophy nearly as compelling as I found that story. Like, at the end of the day, I've read Nietzsche. And it ultimately just didn't mean that much to me. Like, none of it. I just kind of felt like it was like, okay, you're an edgy kiddo. You're a boy and you're very upset. Right? And I don't mean boy as opposed to girl, I mean boy as opposed to man, right? There's something in his work that feels very, like, baby to me. I don't know. But for me personally, right, I do think, that to say, "I understand you" to an animal suffering, that feels to me very real. And very important. Anyway, that's what we got about Nietzsche. I don't think it's bad. I just don't think that it's that interesting to me. With that said, that's not what God is dead means. If you want to say, "I don't believe in God!" loudly and angrily in my chat, I don't think anyone will stop you, but it is child behavior. Like, no one cares and no one asked. But also, horse is pretty cool. Yeah, I like horse. I'm all about horse, I think. Wait, no, that sounds like drugs. Like the animal. Anyway, yeah, it's very Reddit atheist behavior. I like cheese. Oh, I like cheese too. Cheese is amazing. You're dyslexic and you don't believe in dogs? Boy, have I got news for you. Yes! Oh my gosh, you're not at all religious, but talking to theologists is one of your favorite things to do. It always feels like you get to learn some kind of new and interesting thing about historical happenings or context. Yeah, personally, dogs believe in you. Ah, that's so cute. Yo, Stuxnet, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think that religion has the capacity to be a very beautiful thing. And there are a lot of things that people believe in that I don't regularly feel the need to interrogate or argue with them about. And what I'll say is that I've almost never had someone come into my chat and be like, "God is real!" But I all the time have people come into my chat and be like, "God's not real!" And it's like, who is this for? Who are you arguing with? I think that people have this sense that I am a religious streamer or something. I'm not, by the way. I don't know if I've ever said this, but I don't believe in God. And I never really have. Although there were times in my life when I found a lot of comfort in the practice of prayer. And I wasn't raised especially religious, although I was raised in and out of a lot of religious spaces. Because, you have a Christian vibe to you. Yeah, people say that a lot. I was raised in and out of a lot of Christian spaces because we performed in Christian spaces, right? It's the Midwest. Yeah, it is the Midwest. There are a lot of religious VTubers. There's a VTuber who's like specifically a Christian VTuber. It's the Boy Scout vibe. Yeah. No, so I have a lot of love for religious spaces. I like places where people can gather and help each other and talk to each other. And a Christian song karaoke when? Anytime, man. I know an embarrassing amount of Newsboys by heart. And that's, I think, what it always is I've always found religious spaces kind of beautiful and comforting. There are a lot of places where it can go wrong, but I think that we overstate that, personally. And maybe I'm wrong about that, right? Maybe I have a very skewed view and maybe I'm wrong, but I think overall, I've just seen it do more good than bad. And, I like when people like things. I like when things bring people together. Yes! Oh my gosh, yeah! You are religious. Something that you often encounter is people assuming that religious is automatically Christian or Abrahamic. Oh my gosh, yes, no, this is a real thing. Where people say organized religion and they mean like 4 specific religions. And it's like, just say those 4 religions then. Don't say organized religion. That's a lot of things. Did I never hear the gospel? Of course I did. Of course I did. And I think there's comfort in some of those stories. Some of those stories resonated with me less. I wasn't really raised to believe. And in an Occam's razor kind of way, I just never found it very convincing. But with that said, I used to really love the idea that there was a guy out there who loved me. And even if I didn't necessarily believe in that guy, the fact that other people believed in that guy was really comforting to me. The fact that there was a whole room full of people, not that far from me, who believed that there was a guy who loved me, made me feel like I was capable of being loved. Made me feel like I was worthy of it. I love the idea of a guy who loves all of us. I think that's really sweet. Oh, there was some time when I really tried to believe it. You know when you look at one of those optical illusions, and if you look long enough, then you can see it the other way, and you're like, I've seen both ways now. So I did try and believe for a while. I thought maybe if I looked at it really, really hard, I could see it that way, and then I would have more of the human experience. We're all just a bunch of blind guys touching the same elephant, touching different parts of the same elephant, trying to figure out what it is that we're all feeling together. And I thought that I could see more of the world and understand more of what people were seeing if I could believe. And, I couldn't. But, I think that's okay. Yo, thank you so much, Mama! Boy Scout vibes are misunderstood. Unfortunately, being a Boy Scout is seen as being lame or uptight. Yeah! Oh my god, yes! Which is an Eagle Scout you think is very bad. So many Eagle Scouts are not like, good people, and truly good Scouts people are not boring. They're just good people. Yeah, I would agree with that. It's like when someone says that they'll pray for you. Yes, oh my gosh. If someone is gonna hold me in their thoughts, take some of the time to convey some cosmic power they may or may not wield for me, for my sake, what a beautiful thing, Who would be rude about that? And I understand that some people have really bad experiences with religion, and I think that if you do, you should step away from it if that makes you feel better, right? I'm not going to say to anyone, you have to forgive religion for everything it's ever done to you. And there are people who feel excluded by their religious background and, rejected by it, and they feel the need to reject it in return. And I think that if that helps you, go right ahead. I don't have particularly strong feelings about this. I do think it's absolute wiener behavior to be a Reddit atheist, and every time someone says, oh God, you have to be like, I don't believe in God, look at me! I think, shut up and sit down, Jesus Christ. And I think by the same token, literally one time, someone came into my chat and was like, Jesus loves you! I was like, okay, thank you, sir. Irrelevant. Yeah, no, I think we all had our little Reddit atheist phases. And, at the end of the day, if someone is believing something, and it's not hurting anybody, and it's making them feel better, and it's connecting them to their communities, you gotta be a real special kind of wiener to feel the need to disrupt that in a Twitch chat. Leave people alone. Let people eat ice cream. Let people love Jesus. I don't know, man. Whatever. What about flat earthers? I mean, that is part of why I specified if someone believes something that isn't hurting anyone and that is helping them and making them feel better and connecting them to their communities. I think flat earth as a conspiracy theory is not a conspiracy theory about the shape of the earth. If you actually look into it at all, it's not a bunch of people arguing about how the earth is flat. It's a bunch of people arguing about the shadowy cabal that exists to hide the fact that the Earth is flat. It's not a conspiracy theory about the shape of the planet, as it's often conveyed to be. It's a conspiracy theory about people, right? About the idea that people are fundamentally bad and sneaky. Oh, Mini Minute Man? Oh, we love Mini Minute Man! Oh my god, he's amazing. He's amazing! Who doesn't love Mini Minute Man? Yeah. And I think that that's kind of fundamentally an antisocial belief. And I think that most established religions don't have very antisocial beliefs broadly. We love our Google debunkers. Yeah, Google debunkers. Plus, he looks fantastic. What a handsome man. What a handsome lad. Yeah, a lot of scout troops were co-ed before they were officially allowed to be. I mean, mine was, but we weren't that unusual. Like, we'd go to jamborees and stuff, and there would be others. Drives me Google to bonkers. Flat Earthers have members all around the globe. That's cute. That's cute. But yeah, no. I think that like most religions that still exist, mostly for most people who practice them, don't have a lot of antisocial beliefs because the rough edges tend to get sanded off over time, right? It's like a game of telephone. People stop telling the parts that are less good to tell, and they tell the parts that are good to tell a little bit bigger, a little extra special, you know? And so I think that belief systems tend to become more palatable over time. So I think broadly, yeah, no, a lot of people who react strongly against religion have negative experiences. Okay, so I actually don't agree with this. So I know a lot of people who've had negative experiences with religion, and they've moved away from religion, and they have bad feelings about it, and some of them even have trauma about it that they are in therapy for. And I know plenty of people like this, and I think that that's really, really valid and reasonable. And like I said before, you should absolutely step away from religion if it makes you feel better. With that said, it's never those people who get in my chat to be like, do you know that God is dead? It's never those people. It's never those people. It's always like a guy with no trauma at all who just wants to yell at his mom because he thinks she's wrong about something. Like 110% people with religious trauma are never the ones in Twitch chat being like, debate me about Jesus! That's just not how it works, because those people don't want to have that conversation, right? That conversation is painful for them. They're somewhere avoiding that conversation. It's the people who want to have that conversation, yeah. Anti-theists are never people who are traumatized by religion. They're always just like a loud, angry boy with nowhere else to put his anger. Again, we're using boy in opposition to man, not in opposition to girl. Girls are fully capable of this, I would know. Yeah, it's an evangelical who's found something new to evangelize. Holy God, that's beautiful. Oh my God, that's really good. Oh, can I use that? Torgamus, I will give you credit, but that's really good. That's really good. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. That's what I got. Evangelical! Wait, that's so good. Your problem with religion is when it's used to justify bad outcomes and actions. All kinds of good things are used to justify bad outcomes and bad actions. All kinds of things all the time. That's a reason to take apart that argument, not a reason to remove the cover, right? No, sorry, you're good. You're good, AJ. I'm sorry, you're good. Maybe it's just turtles all the way down? What a cool thing to believe. No one should have that taken away from them. Imagine so many turtles. An infinite number of infinite turtles. So, yeah, you guys tricked me. We got an extra 21 minutes of stream out of that. I got nerd sniped. Yeah, Staz is gonna show up any second. We should raid Minnie. Minnie was here earlier this stream. I love her. She's streaming right now. Let's raid her. I think she's singing. I think she's making music. I love her. Okay! Oh my gosh, it's my 14-month shop anniversary! Hi, Minnie. Okay. Okay! I love you all so much. Thank you for hanging out with me. Good night, everybody! Good night, I'll see you in mini stream!
Need you! I need you